exciting one.
Yeah, Kent took on Sussex Sharks last time at Arundel. Came up short that time, so they'll be wanting to get underway in the win column for 2025. The umpires are just starting to walk out in their lovely purple Metro Bank tops, shall we say. And Ollie Robinson, obviously, of the out his Durham side, with Kent's openers Ben Compton, and just behind them, Kent have won the toss first, so Ben Compton and Jaden Denley won for the Spitfires at Beckenham. As I keep saying, it's a lovely day, so it should be a lovely day for the cricket. Some years here that may not necessarily have got £1 ticket offer for under 40 all of our home Metro Bank years. So,
Indeed. Now, you think it's a good toss to win today here at Beckenham?
yeah, it's notoriously a good batting deck, isn't it?
It is indeed, with the sun beating down on the pitch, and as you've mentioned, not many clouds lurking. It seems to be probably a better one to have won.
Yeah, so yesterday the Kent women played here against Northamptonshire Steelbacks women, and that was a bit of a thriller. We were here, weren't we, Molly?
We were indeed. Talking you ball by ball. But no, it was good. Obviously, Kent didn't quite get over the line, but it got quite close towards the end, didn't it?
It did. It was a bit of a squeaky bum time with Liv Barnes taking wickets for fun near the end there, but
yeah,
very good advert for 50 over cricket.
Indeed, with her career best figures as well. As we are looking to get underway here today.
So I think it's Cody Youssef that will
open up the bowling.
Open the bowling for Durham. Jaden Denley taking strike.
Yeah, we'll be taking the first over from the city end.
Yes, the city end is away from us where we're sat, because you can see the City of London from it. And behind where we are sat today is the Beckenham end, where Crystal Palace FC's training ground is. We'd like to wish them all the best of luck today in the Community Shield against Liverpool, our neighbours here at Beckenham.
Yeah, they were training yesterday, weren't they?
They were very loud, weren't they?
They were indeed.
Then we had a bit of a monsoon with the sprinklers going on, but here we go then.
First ball clipped off the legs there, and that's been pushed in to the mid-wicket region. Now get a couple. Good way to get off the mark, isn't it?
Yeah, warm applause from the crowd that are here. Decent crowd, healthy crowd, people still coming in through the gates. As Durham's fielders get set, Ollie Robinson directing some traffic.
Must be nice and empty back.
Yeah, he's from round this area, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of friends and family tickets today for Robbo.
Indeed. As he starts his run into the end lane. Again, a bit back of a length. Should have been pushed into the offside there. Yeah, I'm sure it's nice for him to come back to the parts where he was played cricket originally, and I saw this morning, didn't we, sort of greeting a few of the Kent players. Probably nice to catch up with some old friends.
Yeah, I think he was speaking to a few of the staff members as well. That's how popular he was when he was here. So good for them to catch up with Robbo.
Indeed, as Youssef comes and starts his run into Denley. Again, that one goes whistling past the outside edge into Robinson's gloves.
Bit of theatrics from the Durham fielders there. That was close.
Yeah, the sound effects and the theatrical displays we see from the fielding units obviously gives us a good indication to how close that was. Yeah, yesterday here, the women's game, the Steelbacks pretty good at that.
Yeah, they were. It was also a different wicket, wasn't it? It was just 2 strips across from today's on, so it's a fresh deck for today.
Yeah, so we'll see how this one plays out. And he's in again, bowling again. Cut back behind square. Third man will do the work as he's just guided that through the vacant area of the slip and point.
Good to see Jaden get some runs after some lower scores, shall we say, against Norfolk and Sussex Sharks. So hopefully he fits into his groove a little bit easier today.
Indeed. I feel it's, like I said, new deck here at Beckenham. Sun's out. You'd like to think things are leaning towards his favour as it stands. But Compton is just getting himself set to face his first ball of the day. Youssef is in. Again, back of a length, just rocks back on the back foot. Just defends that one out.
Compton yet to get off the mark, but obviously he has signalled his intentions to stay as a Kent player for a little while longer, signing that 3-year contract extension during Canterbury Cricket Week, and also receiving his county cap, so he's the most recent Kent cap player.
It's been a pretty exciting summer for Ben Compton, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, with bat in hand, he's done pretty well. As Yusuf is back in. Again, whipped off the legs this time, but straight to the fielder at short 45, so there'll be no run there, and that is the end of the over.
Yeah, 3 off it. Decent start from both sides, wouldn't you say?
Indeed. I think no one can be too unhappy with how that was done.
No, I think I did sneak a little bit of a listen into Adam Hollyoak's team huddle this morning, and he sort of said, we're expecting runs from both sides. So I think this will be a high-scoring affair.
Yeah, signs would indicate towards a high-scoring game indeed. And tails here of past would also indicate that.
Yeah, this is of course the site of Sean Dixon's 100 a few years ago. There's been some big scores actually from these two sides as well a couple of years ago in the Metro Bank, as Killeen takes his first over from the Beckenham end. Here he comes past the umpire. Slightly full of caught and bowled chance. Tricky.
That was hit back at him quite hard, wasn't it?
It was. He stuck his hand out and it didn't quite stick. He got fingertips to it.
You kind of get the impression ones like that, they've just got to stick, and it's a worldy catch. But not to be right now. But from a Durham perspective, opportunities already created into the first ball of his over.
Yeah, it's good to see some opportunities for the bowlers early on with the new balls. One at each end. Killing comes in again. Good of a length, defended, respected by Denley.
Again, we've touched on it, haven't we, during the four-day stuff? 2 left-handers opening up.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange sight, isn't it? Especially for Kent supporters, when we've not really had many left-handers in the team.
Well, it's exciting to see, actually. So hopefully these two can get underway for Kent.
Killing comes in again then. Same sort of length and line. Defended, no run. Then he sends Compton back to the non-striker's end.
I always think after watching a lot of cricket with the Kent men, and how different Ben Compton must be feeling now wearing kit that isn't traditional whites. Obviously limited cricket stuff.
Yeah, he's made a bit of his name for himself in Red Bull stuff, hasn't he? And he has scored runs in the Metro Bank. Killing comes again. Bit fuller that time, and that's sort of leading edge down all along the ground. There was no danger there, and they will get 2. Good running from Edinburgh. Ollie Robinson backing up to mop one up.
He's quick, isn't he?
Yeah. It's the fountain of youth, isn't it?
Indeed. One of the I would say one of the younger gentlemen in the team, but
there's a few of those.
There's a few of those these days, indeed.
Great to see some opportunities for younger players in this competition. Killeen sets again to come in, bowls, full again, then he picks out the fielder, there will be no run.
I've mentioned earlier, the crowd's still coming in. So that's always good to see.
2 gates open, so they are coming in from both sides. That means stand was fully green this morning with the green seats that stick out quite a bit, and they're now dotted with Lissie as well. In comes Killeen again then. Well, slightly shorter, LBW appeal. It's a bit leg-sidey to me. Not given. That's the end of the over. Kent 5 without loss.
Yeah, again, I don't think Durham are going to be too unhappy with that over, are they?
No. Well, they had the chance at the start, and I would say that if we're talking about one-handed grabs, we both probably saw one of the best catches live, well, I've ever seen yesterday in the women's match. Was it Ascot?
Ascot, yeah.
For Northamptonshire Steelbacks women. It was drilled towards her in the covers. She took a half step to her right, just stuck her hand out nonchalantly as you like, with a bent arm, and just said, cheers. Pocketed straight away, and it was stunned silence, wasn't it? No for until people realised she'd caught it.
It was phenomenal, and it did dismiss Isabella James.
Yes.
Yusuf continues. Again, that one push sides, it will be wide. There was maybe a hint of hoping that he'd abandon Jaden then, but not to be.
Yeah, I think Jaden wants to go and get going and churning out some runs.
It's always hard, isn't it, when you come off the back of a couple of games where you haven't maybe got the start that you wanted and you're searching for that big score.
Yeah, he's certainly got the talent to turn those into some big scores and make up for some lower ones.
Is in again, this time hit off the legs of Jaden Denley, straight to mid-wicket. So it will be no run.
It's hot today as well, isn't it, Molly?
It is. The sun, like I said, it is out, so I'm trying to keep myself in the shade because I will find myself very sunburnt by the end of the day. But yeah, I should learn my lesson. Sun cream and a hat on, I think. As Yusuf walks back to his mark. He comes back in to Denley. This one driven, just falling short of an outside edge for first slip. And third man does the work. That wasn't a chance, that just fell short there. But again, a run behind square. Durham aren't going to be too unhappy.
No, it's a nice tight start, isn't it? We saw this as well in the women's match yesterday, that both sets of opening bowlers kept it nice and tight early on, and the runs came maybe a bit later on in the innings.
Yeah, indeed. Yusuf again runs in. This time just defended by Ben Compton.
He almost continued charging down to say no, didn't he? I would just say as well, if you are listening today, you can get in touch with us. You can @KentCricket on X, or you can send us an email, livestream @kentcricket.co.uk. Tell us where you're listening from. Give us any stats or tips that we might not know about and we can share with the world.
Yeah, I always enjoy the any messages that are written in because different insight, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yusuf's back in. This one worked off the legs of Ben Compton. The short 45, bit of a fumble, but no run taken. And that is not the end of the over. I think the fielder just in front of us was running back on to think that was the end, but with the wide.
Yeah, he'd forgotten about the wide, hadn't he?
Forgotten about the extra. I do that quite a lot, so yeah. I do sometimes find in the summer counting to 6 is my hardest challenge. I'm sure I'm not the only one out there. As Yusuf comes back into Ben Compton. Shorter, hit on the pads. Again, there's no run as the short 45 does the work.
On to come, so he's 2 balls early.
2 balls early. That is a very me thing to do. You were in the same number as me as well, so maybe it's that. That's the curse of number 12. Everyone seems in good spirits today, which is nice to see. Durham are up for it. The last ball of the over is about to commence. As he comes in, bowls again, full and straight. So Ben Compton just pushes it up to mid on. No run there, and that is the end of the over. So Kent are 8 for no loss.
Yes, so to our media counterparts at Durham, listening into them, getting some info.
I'm sure we can hopefully guide some solution as we say that.
I was feeding Sam Keir, who was the announcer at Sussex, some info the other day. Killing starts another over and did very nice. Yes, Keir, who is a PA now today, he wouldn't drown. And I was telling him American's favourite films, Happy Gilmore, whoever supports in other sports, that sort of thing. That's the sort of information you need during the Metro Bank One Day Cup, don't you?
Yeah, indeed. Good insight to people listening about the players as well. Get to learn some new information.
Killing comes in again. Good length. Oh, and that's caught. Straight to the fielder. And Denley departs for 6.
You kind of got the impression, didn't you? He was searching for that a little bit, maybe pressed it too much. Did send that in short, catching mid-wicket's hands.
Yeah, we can see what Jaden Denley can do, so this is just a learning experience for him. He'll obviously come out of it as a better player. Unlucky today that he can't quite get the runs that seem to be on the menu with the overheads and the surface, but Jaden is a really good, bright talent for us, so we'll be seeing a lot more of his left-handed style in the future.
Yeah, 100%.
I say in the future we are back here next week, aren't we?
We are indeed.
So Jaden will be back here next week. So Joey Everson coming in at 3 then.
It's a new position over this year for him.
Yeah, he's opened a couple of times in the Metro Bank last couple of years. He is higher order batter, and he was interviewed a few weeks ago and said that I am a batter that bowls.
Yeah.
Which surprised me slightly, because he's obviously very good with the ball as well, so he's probably got the strongest case in this Kent side of being a genuine all-rounder.
No, I would totally agree with that. I think I've watched him in the Blast this year as well, and he's a handy player to have in your team, isn't he? Because you get the impression he is the ultimate, can win you a game with bat and ball in hand. So I feel like a Joey Everson is somebody that you'd want in your team.
Yeah, joined us from Nottinghamshire back in 2022 and won this competition.
I remember him joining actually, and
in his first season.
Definitely a few years ago now, isn't it?
Yep.
Time flies. Time flies.
Indeed.
He's a lovely man as well. Always got time to speak to fans and help the next generation.
He is very much the golden retriever of the Kent team, isn't he?
Yeah, he's lovely. And he gets his opportunity today at number 3.
I'm sure we'll see him bowl as well later as Colleen starts again. And Everson searches for a quick run to get off the mark, doesn't quite beat the fielder.
Yeah, Ben Compton was backing up there quite heavily, wasn't he? He was waiting for the yes call, but it never came.
You can get in touch with us at Kent Cricket on X, live stream at kentcricket.co.uk. Drop us an email, tell us where you're listening in from. But there might be a few people that maybe would have watched the stream usually that are here today as Killing comes in again. It's a lovely shot, but it's picked the fielder out and I think it's hit him in the chest on the bounce. That's a very good stop.
It was a very good stop. It flew at him, and he's done well to stay 4 there, but I think he might have ended up winding himself in the process, but he's up and about.
I would say don't rub it, but I think we all know he's in a bit of discomfort there.
Indeed. It's gone across the square, you can't see on the stream. I might have kicked a wicket on the way.
King comes in again. That's a lovely looking leave from Joey Everson. No run.
Yeah, it's very dry down here at Beckenham, and the outfield flies by, and we saw that yesterday in the women's game, that if you seem to beat the inner ring, you've probably got 4 to your name.
Yeah, we did see that quite a bit yesterday, that some very good field placings from both sides, but when you do find that gap, it does race away. Colleen comes in again. Defended very nicely by Everson. Oh, nearly a chance of a run out of the non-strikers.
It is all going on. But that is the end of the over. So Kent are 8 for 1 after 4. So you would think it will be Yusuf to continue from the city end. It looks like that will be the case. A little graphic up on your screen now, you can see. As we said, only 4 overs in, so still very much plenty of time to go in this game. As Ben Compton just gets himself set to get ready to face the first ball of the over. As that one there has just been worked off the hip of Ben Compton straight to mid-wicket. There's no run there. I'm sure the ice cream man will do a roaring trade today, as of yesterday as well, especially with the sun out.
We do apologise if the sound is slightly ahead of the picture. I'm trying to play around the settings, see if we can sort that out for you.
Bowls again. This one left alone from Ben Compton, and it is a wide ball. It's almost done too much, as that goes into Ollie Robinson's gloves. Must have done more after. From this position, it looks okay, but again, we aren't in line with the wicket, and we're a bit further away.
Yeah, yesterday we were more behind the bowler's arm slightly. Today they've moved across a tad, so not quite behind the bowler's arm here.
again. Didn't fancy that one. Run up was wrong, so it's a dead ball as he walks back to his mark. Yeah, we've all been there. Running in doesn't quite feel natural, so you just pull away. Not to be deterred. The stands to our left is again filling up quite nicely. More people making their way up the stairs. So that's good to see. Getting prime view of today's play. As if it's back in, short worked off, the back foot, and that's punched away, all the way for 4 off of Ben Compton. Lovely cut shot, played it late, beaten the point fielder, and as we've said, that's raced away.
Classic Ben Compton, takes 7 balls to get off the mark, and he does it with a lovely looking 4. So Compton is on 4 from 8. Everson yet to get off the mark. Kent 13 for 1 in the 5th over.
That was a very classic Ben Compton shot, as you already mentioned. He plays it so well, as we've seen so much this year with the red ball, and now he's doing it in limited overs cricket. As uses back in. Again, shorter worked off the legs of Ben Compton, tucked round the corner, and they get the single, and short 45 does the work.
That looked very quick, that one, didn't it?
It did indeed. The 2 Durham opening bowlers look like they've got a little bit of pace behind them. That's encouraging signs. Joey Everson's taking his mark to face his first ball from Yusuf. Not too many changes in the field. As he runs back into bowl. Again, Fuller this time, just driven up to mid-on. There'll be no run.
Worth mentioning as well that we are directly under a flight path here at Beckenham, aren't we? So there are some big planes flying overhead, and they always seem to be throughout the day.
Yes, this was a topic of conversation yesterday as well. Is naming the plane if you can identify them from the sky. Back into bowl again. This one just defended again by Joey Everson. Yeah, flight path here, and yesterday was a topic of conversation. So what was flying overhead? A few here in the media tent are quite knowledgeable with their plane information.
Yeah, and of course you're our cloud expert as well, Molly. You love your cloud formations.
This has been brought up a couple of times, but not any in the sky today. So unfortunately, my knowledge can't come to light. As Use is back in again. This time, driven hard up to mid-on, but straight to the fielder. So that'll be no run.
So Molly, I am now going to leave you. You will be joined by the maestro of the ECB Supporters Network, one of the finest county cricket journalists in the country, Mr. Fred Atkins, who came on today with his signature summer bucket hat on. I'm sure he can talk more about that when he comes on comms. But Molly, it's lovely to chat to you so far, and I will see you later on.
Thank you very much. As Colleen continues from the Beckenham end, Ben Compton gets himself set and ready. In bowls, this one just worked down to the third man region, just dropped his hands on that and played it safely between point and first slip. He's done that well today, Ben Compton, just waiting for sort of the ball that he feels he can score off of. He's a very patient man himself, and that proves to all of the red ball cricket I've watched him play. He's just transitioning into his white ball cricket as well. As Colleen again back in to Everson. That one's just defended nicely and comfortably. Not troubled there. And I'm very happy to say I am pleased to be joined by Fred Atkins. Hi Fred.
Hello Molly, how are you?
I'm very well. Are you enjoying the sun and being here at Beckenham?
Well, to be honest, I've got to give you an honest answer. I don't really like the sun very much, but I'm enjoying being here at Beckenham, yes.
Colleen is in. And that's an outstanding catch at point. Joey Everson rocks back on the back foot to try and beat the inner ring, but a diving effort has made that catch look pretty easy in the end. But I don't think take anything away from that. That was spectacular.
Yes, he's pulled it off. It's about a foot off the ground there. Full length dive to the left at point, and Everson has gone, which is another early blow for Kent. Struggling a little bit to score these early overs after choosing to bat.
Yeah, you kind of feel this is 2 wickets that have been taken so far, have both been caught, and do you feel that maybe it's not coming on as much as they think, getting stuck potentially? I mean, two good catches.
I think that this is the sort of track where it's usually regarded as a batting wicket. It's usually regarded as a road, to be honest. I've seen Durham play here. I think it was 2021 when they racked up an absolutely biblical score batting first. Just from this distance, there looks to be a bit of a greener tinge to this wicket, and I've seen a few games here this year where Surrey women have been playing, and it's not been the batter's paradise that we normally associate with Beckenham. I think Kent winning the toss, probably it was always going to be the game plan to bat first, but yeah, it has been a struggle so far, and Everson going, I think it's a big blow early on.
Yeah, that's 2 key wickets that Durham have taken this morning. So obviously Kent are 15 for 2 now, slightly on the back foot, but Chris Benjamin does join Ben Compton in the middle, hoping to have a rebuild here. But that is 2 wickets for the Durham side.
Yeah, and it was Drissel that took the catch. I want to say it's an exceptional bit of fielding by George Drissel there at point. So, well, we'll see what Benjamin's done. He's not been fully fit this year. His return from injury is being managed. That shoulder injury that he's sustained as Killian comes in.
Ball just punched off the back foot there from Benjamin.
In some ways, we've got to be pleased that he's playing at all, because when he initially suffered that injury at Lord's, it sounded like he was going to be out for the season. He was apparently so desperate to play again, he has confounded expectations and was back in the side for the Blast squad.
Yeah, that injury did look very nasty. I remember seeing that, but he's rehabbed well, as it looks. As that one again has just been pushed into the offside. No run again as the fielder does the work. It's a rebuild here, isn't it, from Kent's perspective?
Well, it definitely is. Yeah, 15 for 2. It's absolutely not the start that they would have wanted when they decided to bat first, and it'll affect the way that they play this. Compton, will be unhurried. They'll be unflustered.
Indeed, that's the positive, isn't it? Having Ben Compton still there, that experience is again a good sign. That one there, again defended up to mid-off by Benjamin, straight to the fielder.
Well, there was a game he played a couple of years ago against Northamptonshire when John Sadler, the then Northamptonshire coach, made a point of praising how Compton had played. It was basically the key performance in that particular game. That one was at Canterbury. And Sadler made a point of saying that Compton is the sort of player, 50 overs, it's longer than you think. It used to be considered tip and run. It used to be considered a bit cheap by comparison. Obviously, things have evolved a lot since then. Now, 50 overs, when you compare it to, say, 100 balls or a T20 format, there is a lot of time to go. There is a lot of cricket left to be played here. It's 15 for 2. And what you don't want to do is go too gung-ho too early here. So Compton is facing up.
Yeah, obviously him still being out there obviously is that encouraging sign for Kent fans, and he'll be very, I think, unmoved from this situation. He likes a challenge, doesn't he?
Yusuf comes in to bowl from the City end, and Compton wafts at that one, slightly go through to orbit. I should say waft is the wrong word. It was more a kind of tentative nudge, and there's a no ball being signalled. So this will be a free hit. So he must have overstepped, I assume.
Yeah, that is what the signs are pointing to. So if you're batting now, free hit, where are you sending this?
Well, Compton could go anywhere. He got all the shots. He just is very guarded about playing them. He's a very disciplined player. We'll have to see where this one goes. Yusuf comes in, bowls. It's a short one. It's this time it's around about head height, so it just goes straight through to Ollie Robinson, whipped through past Compton's helmet.
It was a very good ball actually to bowl for the free hit. That was quick as well.
Yeah, I got the feeling that Compton wasn't expecting it to go up as high as it did, and so the free hit is without damage as far as Durham are concerned. Yusuf comes back in, gets to the crease, and that one is fuller length. Compton just prods it out to the offside where it's fielded by the number 48 for Durham, Colin Ackerman. It's been moved out from the slip area, a kind of mid-off, you'd say.
Yeah. You kind of feel that's probably not a bad option. Obviously, both wickets currently being caught. So you feel in front of that probably the good option at the moment for their third wicket.
Yusuf comes in again, unleashes that one again, is sort of fuller length. And Compton again just prods that one to Ackerman, mid-off. And Kent are just getting, I think it's too early to say that they're getting bogged down here. Score 19 for 2. But
it's a tricky period now, isn't it? It's navigating this to come out the other side.
yes, you can't afford to lose too many wickets. You've got a reasonably long tail with Fred Clarkson coming in at 9, Parkinson 10, and Michael Cohen, who made his debut at Sussex, Arundel on Thursday. That one is just again prodded to the leg side, this time fielded. There's no run taken, so it remains 19 for 2. Benjamin yet to get off the mark. Compton is on 4. Is he 4-6? Sorry, he's on so far off 16 balls. So characteristically watchful innings for him as Yusuf gets to his mark at the City end. And there's a bit of a delay as Compton has seen some movement. There are some stewards at the... we do apologise to a lost video connection temporarily, so you're just going to have to rely on our words here for a second. You're not missing anything at the moment. There is a bit of a delay at the City end because it looks like there's some sort of problem with the scoreboard, that people are too close to the line of sight for Ben Compton on that end, and so we're just getting a little bit of a delay here while the stewards sort it out. Yusuf is back at his mark. Compton is a very fastidious batter. As you've delivered, interested in.
People probably took it down.
So Yusuf back to his mark. Kent currently 9 lovely big interview before starting where he was very stressed. He was not only but also speed, and that time got in, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's a prolific run scorer in the red ball 4-day stuff. He had the white ball format. So no, it's good to see him today. Hopefully getting runs for his.
And it is 23 for 2 at the end of the over.
And it is Colleen to continue. Again, apologies about not having any picture currently, but we are working on that. So for now, you're going to have to bear with us, and I'll guide you through this over as best as I possibly can. As he runs in, bowls, pushed up to mid on, quick single, and they're safe run.
He is quick, yes, and he had to be there. It was danger for Benjamin. I think Compton was possibly the target. They were throwing towards the keeper's end. He made it. We trying to restore pictures, possible for you.
Indeed. The guys are ready, working again for everybody.
It looks like we're back.
It does. As he bowls in again, lead back, beats point, and it will run out. So it will just be a couple in the end. As he's just, lovely. Timed that well through point.
That's another elegant shot that Emilio Gay, he got near, dived, but he couldn't get two hands on it, so eventually it was fielded. I think it's Bannerman that's out there at a kind of backward point boundary, I think, in front of the electronic scoreboard that's there.
Again, bowls, this time just worked off the pads of Compton into the leg side. just been a single. Again, it was well weighted. Just found his gap.
Yeah, score moves on to 25 for 2 here. Kent starting to rebuild after losing a couple of early wickets. Jaden Denley was caught by Borthwick off Killeen, and Joey Everson was caught by Drissel off Killeen. So Killeen, very decent figures of 2 for 4 at present.
I'd be pretty happy with that. As again, he starts his run into Benjamin. This one, again, driven straight to point. Again, a low catch has been taken. But that is another wicket that Durham have to their column, and that is the end of Chris Benjamin. As you can see there, the video's been restored. He rocks back to try and guide that through the point region, but he didn't quite get it wide enough. As again, is it Drissel?
It looks like it's Drissel. I'm not 100% sure. We'll wait for confirmation.
But another good catch. Another good catch by the Durham fielders.
And it's very similar to the Everson dismissal a few moments ago. Very kind of similar sort of area that he played in, similar kind of stroke.
Yeah, it was almost very much a copy and paste job there, wasn't it, of between Chris Benjamin and...
Yeah, so it's I think who has taken partner of the incoming batter is the skipper, Harry Finch.
Again, though, from this perspective, two experienced cricketers.
There is a lot on their shoulders. When you're right, they have got the Finch has now converted himself to the the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Very interesting backstory that I last blast game at Canterbury. So he did the first part of his career when he was at Sussex, and he's determined the success of it. And Matt Cole of the BBC asked him, "What, you reinvented yourself as a winner, as a Torda batter, and what do you do next?" Well, the answer is that he's now the Kent captain for the first part of this tournament, while Grant Stewart, who was captain for the last county championship game with Leicestershire before he got injured, is expected to play some part potentially in this tournament towards the back end.
Yeah, he was here around the team today. He was doing some warm-up prep, I think, for his own rehab. So positive signs again for a comeback for Grant Stewart. But Harry Finch sets up to face his first ball as Killeen is in. This one again shorter. He's rocked back on the back foot and plays it down on the ground to point this time.
Yeah, and Durham will be absolutely delighted with the start that they've made here. 25 for 3. Killeen in particular has spectacular figures of 3 for 7 so far.
I mean, you're saying there what Harry Finch's sort of next step up here. It could be carrying his team through as Killeen is in again, full, straight, but just defended off by Finch.
I think both of these players have got to be watchful, certainly for a few overs here.
Yeah, I would agree. But personally, for them, this year, their season, it's been going okay, isn't it?
Yes, in both cases, Compton initially signed a 1-year extension, then he signed a longer extension of 3 or 4 years. Decided to commit his future to Kent. It was a bit up in the air. This time last season, he didn't feature in this tournament at all. And Finch, as we say, is continually reinventing himself as a cricketer. And it's going to be Compton to face the start of this over. 25 for 3. It looks like it's going to be... Well, yeah, I think it's Yusuf that's going to continue from the city end. His figures not as impressive by comparison, but on the other hand, a 4.25 economy rate is not bad by any stretch of the imagination. He's not taken any wickets so far. He's left that to Killeen. As he runs into bowl from the city end, Compton to face. That one is a decent length, and it's sort of nudged out towards point area where it's fielded by the number 15 Will Rhodes, and there's no run.
Yeah, you can just hear now Durham a bit louder, bit more theatrical when you have Kent 25 for 3. I'm sure there's a good reason to why you're feeling that way. They're wanting another one, aren't they?
Absolutely, haven't they sent blood here as Yusuf comes in from the city end again to Compton. One is slightly fuller length than Compton, just watches it. He's well, he's either annoyed with the shot that he played there, or he's got some kind of insect in his grill, Compton, as he just sort of wafted something away from his face guard there. I think he's annoyed, actually. It might be that he's annoyed by an insect that's getting into his face, but certainly not entirely happy about something, as Yusuf comes in again from the city end, and this one is slightly shorter. Compton again has to just sort of prod it, and I do wonder if even Ben Compton is getting frustrated by the match situation here.
I think there's an element of that, isn't there? I think with the white ball format coming in, everyone's spoken about Beckenham being a road, and obviously it hasn't quite ended up that way for one or two reasons. So obviously you just got to adapt your own strategy here, haven't you? And play for the needs of the game, play for the occasion, as they say.
Absolutely, as Yusuf comes in, that one is a decent length delivery, and again there's no run. It's fielded by Drissel, I think, at kind of short backward point, would you say that is?
And Slip is also back in, as you can see on your screens as well.
Yeah, Ackerman, the specialist slip fielder for Durham, who struggled a bit at Somerset on Friday night, as teams often do. Fairly intimidating venue, I think is the coded expression as Yusuf comes in. Fuller length from Compton, again watchful, just prods it back to him. And the ball is just being passed around the fielders here. As I say, Yusuf, fairly tidy opening spell here. He's not struck, and his figures, as we said, clearly not as impressive as Colleen, who's on 3 for 7 at the moment, but on course for a maiden over here.
They've bowled well in tandem here, haven't they, the two Durham openers?
As he comes in again, and Compton this time will get a run, so it won't be a maiden over. He guides that down towards backward point, and there's just a single, so Compton will keep the strike, and the score at the end of the over is 26 for 3.
Yeah, I think we keep saying the rebuild, so Durham are probably going to be the happier team as it stands, but we will see where Harry Finch and Ben Compton can take the Kent score now. And I imagine it will be Killeen still, till it's unfair to say stop there, especially with figures of currently 3 for 7. I'll be very happy with them.
Well, one of the dilemmas, I suppose, Michael Cohen, who of course made a superb debut for Kent at Arundel. I suppose the dilemma for Harry Finch, his captain, was should he perhaps have kept him on for a bit longer?
Indeed. As Killeen comes in to Compton, this one again just been defended into the offside. Watchful again. We'll soon bring you some scores from around the country for today. Obviously lots of Metro Bank fever that's running around, up and down. So we'll bring you them scores soon.
Yeah, Derby currently 50 for 1 at home to Nottinghamshire.
Killeen is back into Compton. This one again, it's been played into the offside, or sort of the splice of the bat on the ground, so it was safe. But again, something in this for Durham.
Yeah, there's not been too many sides getting away from it. Looking at the scores elsewhere around the country, Leicestershire struggling similarly to Kent. They're 29 for 3, 33 for 3 after 9 overs at Bristol against Gloucestershire.
As Killeen runs in again, shorter pulled, and that will go for 4
and
again.
That's a lovely shot from Compton, just almost contemptuously again pulling that one.
Yeah.
Backward square leg area.
He picks up length really well, doesn't he? The two shorter ones that we've seen, he's been on that quick as anything and helped it on its way. So that release shot from Kent does come, and that helps the cause. 4 more to Kent's total, 4 more to Compton's tally.
It does. I'll pick up on this in a second, but the There's just a bit of a delay again as Compton is not happy with something he sees in the field.
Clean again starts his run. Bowls left alone by Ben Compton as it sails through to Ollie Robinson with the gloves.
Yeah, somebody asked me yesterday, I was at Hemel versus Maidstone match. Somebody was asking me about how Kent's season had gone. They haven't been very often this year. I think they've only been to a couple of games. And people obviously look at the league table and assume that you're having a bad year. To an extent, I would agree. But there's a different kind of mood around the club this season to last.
Absolutely, as Colleen's back in again, strongly defended away from Ben Compton for no run.
I replied, yes, if you look at the league table, it's not been great in the county championship, but Kent have had a decent start to the Red Bull season. They've struggled a bit since with injuries, and there's other things happening around the club that allow you room to be encouraged, I think.
That's Colleen again. Back in, this time just been worked with the legs. Could be a confusion here, could be a run out. And he's safe in the end. A fumble from, I think, the keeper.
Yeah, Ollie Robinson has spared his successor, Harry Finch, there. Really shoddy cricket all round, you've got to say.
So there was a confusion there in the middle. It was an okay throw-in from the Durham fielder, but wasn't collected cleanly by Ollie Robinson, allowing Harry Finch to make his ground again. So in the end, they were safe, but I think that could have been...
Yeah, it was a bit of, after you Claude running from Compton and Finch there, they both seemed to hesitate. They're having a bit of a debrief in the middle. The throw-in, as you say, not a bad one, but Ollie Robinson, former Kent wicket-keeper there, not really taking the chance cleanly, and whether Finch would have been in, I've not seen the replay, so I can't tell, but...
I think what's key to mention is Robinson's had to run in from probably about 20-odd yards to get to the stumps. He's dived forward to try and pick it up and take the bails at the same time, I'd say, and it didn't quite stick. But Kent are 31 for 3.
And that is the end of the power play. There's a bowling change at the City end. Luke Robinson is coming on for Durham. And Robinson will run in. Right arm over. Bowls to Compton. Compton just watchfully plays that one out to the mid-on area where it's fielded by the number 24, Emilio Gay, who signed for Durham from Northamptonshire at the start of this season.
Yeah, I think also just to come back and touch on the point about sort of Kent's season and continue.
To Compton, that one is slightly shorter, and Compton just plays that one sort of watchfully down towards backward point, I'd say, where Will Rhodes fields. And Will Rhodes, Durham didn't have a great game against Somerset. Will Rhodes, I believe, made a century on Friday night down at Taunton. Gave Durham something to defend there. Looked like it was becoming a procession towards the end. It was a bit closer than that. They were 6 down when I stopped watching. Compton just pulled that one behind him. It's fielded on the boundary. Just trying to catch the fielder's name on the back of his shirt here, because he's...
But yeah, I think lots of positives this year to take away from a Kent perspective. Obviously, quarter-final place in the Vitality Blast, which is obviously a campaign that I know the supporters really get behind. So that's an exciting period of time, and also the signing extensions as well of some key names.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were worried that Tawanda Mayeo, for example, would be on his way, but he signed a new deal as bowler comes in, and this time Finch plays it up to Emilio Gay. No run taken. Score currently 32 for 3. It's Beckenham that's the fielder that is closest to us on the boundary rope here.
Yes, there's obviously Liam Knight touched on earlier. Joey Everson extending.
Joey Everson extending as well. Ben Compton signing on to under the building for the future. As the bowler comes in again, and this time Finch again just sort of prods it forward. As Gay fields, no run.
I think as well, all the young exciting talent that's sort of at the infancy of their senior professional career, with the likes of Jaden Denley and Ekansh Singh, and recently signed Ben Dawkins as well. I think that's an exciting period of time.
It is, yes. I mean, there's a school of thought that suggests you should pick your strongest team for every game. As bowler comes in, Finch side plays it again to Emilio Gay. Gay sort of feels it slightly uncomfortably, rears up and hits him in the chest. But the old adage that you don't field on a misfield, I always think is a bit of a misnomer. That was a misfield, but it certainly wasn't worth the single. It's a very tidy opening over, you'd say there.
Yeah, I would agree. I think you can't be too upset with that. I would still say Durham applying the pressure here to Kent, not letting them get away, even with a change of bowling. But it will be clean to continue here from the Beckenham end, which you'd feel is the wise decision. Figures 3 for 12 or for 5.
Well, I guess the thought process is that these excellent figures, as you just mentioned, he's taken 3 wickets so far. If he gets any more, then Durham could get Kent all out for a very low target if he strikes again.
As he comes into bowl, Compton just works it off his legs into the leg side. A look for 2, but it'll be just a 1 in the end, as the boundary fielder does the work. No more mix-ups between these two.
Yeah, that was a comfortable 1 and a suicidal 2. I think they've just been slightly chastened by the experience of that previous near miss that they had in the last over, when really thought that there was going to be a run out there.
Again, Finch just sets himself as Colleen comes in. Again, defended comfortably from Finch. Yeah, these two, I think, just having, like I said, rebuild, reset, work out how they want to pace their innings. I think that's quite important, isn't it? Is pacing innings is something we speak about a lot, especially in the women's game, and between the formats that we play, and obviously for the men they have the 4-day stuff as well. So yeah, the tactical side definitely comes more into play. Colleen's back in again. This one here is just tried to be guided behind backward point, but in the end it was straight to the fielder. So no run.
Yeah. At what point do you think that they'll say that you've locked down for long enough? Because obviously still fairly early on in the Kent innings, just 11.3 bowled so far, and it's clearly too early to start hitting out. But how long do you think it'll be before they get the signal to accelerate a bit?
Colleen comes back in again. Finch this time just defends, drops it into the offside. Compton backing up a very long way there, but turn back from Finch. I think it's a good question. I think 11 overs in, obviously we're coming sort of to the end of this one now. Maybe looking to see where we are around 15, 17, just to see if these two can still be out there. When you get to 20, isn't it? I think that's when the conversation maybe changes. As Colleen's back in again. This one just defended up to mid-off. What would your thinking be?
To be honest, I'm a reporter rather than a county standard cricketer, so I usually defer on questions like this. I seem to remember watching a documentary, the Amazon documentary about Birmingham. I'll continue this in a second.
As Colleen's back in. This one again, just pressed into the offside. The short cover does the work. No run.
There's Rob McElhenney and Tom Brady talking about Birmingham and Wrexham, and Rob McElhenney was saying he wouldn't presume to tell Tom Brady anything about professional sports. So I tend to steer clear of the obvious tactical questions, because I am just a reporter. But having studied cricket for a while, yeah, there's patterns of scoring that you find quite often. You see there's a risk in games like this where teams can lose a few wickets early, and they can get bowled out for a very low score, and the game can be all over before it's even begun. It certainly happened at Kent last year when they played Northants. Yuzvendra Chahal got Kent all out for about 80 odd, I think, and the game was over by about 3 o'clock as Robinson comes in from the City end. build on that good first over. He gets a dot ball here, bowling for Compton.
See, you say that, but I think I'd love to hear Fred Atkins post or pre-match team
Well,
talk.
I wouldn't give a team talk. That's certain. It's one of these things where I do feel glad that, in some respects, that I've never been a professional sportsman, because I think I'd struggle through some of the motivational speeches I hear. So Robinson comes in from the city end to Compton. Compton will sort of cut that one. Diving stop there at backward point, saving what looked like a boundary.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? He just sort of dived to his right, low to his right, and sort of stuck out his right hand, and the ball has stuck to it. So.
Yes, there's Will Rhodes there, and he saved like a very likely 4 runs from Compton. Compton's best shot for a while. Both batters have really been struggling to get anything away here as Robinson comes back in, and Compton this time sort of guides that one into through the vacant slip area. It'll be fielded. They'll take a single, and Harry Finch will take the strike. So the fielder has to shift around, switch to the right-hander.
So as a journalist, have you ever been tempted to take up sport and play?
Well, I had to stand up. I mean, I've got a few stories I could tell you. Last year against window comes in. Very well at Harry Finch. Moving the scoreboard on. It's been a while since Kent have enjoyed a boundary. 38 for 3 now.
It was timed well, wasn't it? He just sort of pushed that back, didn't overhit that, and it's raced away.
Yeah. So Harry Finch gets off the mark after 11 deliveries with a handsome boundary off Luke Robinson, who comes in from the city end. Bowls that one. Harry Finch plays that short. Yeah, I played a charity match. It's the only time I can say that I've played cricket with cricketers of any standard. It was kind of a press, experiment, if you like. They wanted to get a local reporter in to play. I ended up playing with Courtney Walsh, and I dropped a catch off his bowling.
Oh, no.
And that's something you only do once. He fully played up to the theatricality of it. Robinson comes back in. What place in I don't know what him to pick. And the Venus was just one of the simplest catches you ever see in your life. And I did hurled it back. Was this one I actually it was the worst possible thing I thought, well, it written me off. But
and
your role is that you have a pretty strong side. It's part of Filter Fraser's
make time. Worked off the legs of Ben Compton, but he done what with it there.
I think board during the pins. Here it's still forward before I think he's got up and we go home.
Same character building you.
It was.
After that, the turn to a clip in. This one, the stump, sideway, and the Compton.
Yeah, a lot of reporters in the circuit are standard cricketers, played real level, and so I would that kind do cricket count down the cricket any standards.
Just as though bitter, maybe to the inside, as one there had been fended inside, so no one there from Harry.
Some insight, yeah. The last wicket play. There's a just the Meaden broadcaster a book called Fib in there. A few years back I read the time, the scene where they go out and look at the wicket. Nobody had played the wicket.
Straight bar, so
the only one for me, and if the lefty Finch middle, Robbie going to continue from the CN.
You'd agree?
Putting his hand in there to watch. Just for Harry Finch. Score moves on to 4-2. 41 there is so far. Finch 6 from 7 in. He took it. There's not a score, but very elegantly area fielded by Beckenham. Dive on Beckenham and City Susan. There's a chase on that. The fielder is not going to get the fifth. I believe it was Will Reed's chase there. So it's a second attractive drive in a row, but this one will get 4 runs rather than a single.
Yeah, he just timed that well, didn't he? Didn't overhit that. And he's found the very large gap in that cover region. Is it gone away before?
Yeah, outcome for a batter. He thinks his chance, and in the end it runs away from him. As Robinson Compton, and that's a signal wide, head high. So extra total there. Larita Compton by the buyer. So can move to 58. Compte, Robinson, bowl from the Robinson, fairly tidy opening over. Rate is 0.5 star, or Killian Dean 1.06, ball D. So all the double just slightly away. Compton takes his guard as Robinson comes in and just prods that one watchfully back up past whether it's fielded by Will Rhodes. There'll be no run taken.
Yeah, you kind of feel here if Caneen has a rest and a new bowler comes on, that could be the over that Kent look to try and go for the gears a bit more now. But we'll have to see. Compton's still there.
Playing anchor roll at the moment. Here's a bowler coming in the conflict stat of his pads down to the 5 area, I think. Followed by Hawthorne and the run. So Tanley moves up 49-3.
Yeah, and as I was saying, the overs you thought they'd be looking to up you. We're approaching now and maybe soon.
Just what's going to be fielded around about, well, on area, so mid-off area. No run taken. That's the end of the over. 3 are,
So I am going to be for them to play me. Can I strongly see what I can do, and I will do anything.
Thanks very much to Molly Davis, women's wicket keeper, for the first hour or so of this programme, going by the media crew. The first season at the Spitfire today. We're at the new county Beckenham, and you've been here today, Colleen. I've been here.
I stood there for the women first catch here at Durham, but match day. And yeah, nice to see you up back to them. Colleen will continue from the near side, and it's just quiet down time. Yeah, it's nice to Jack Hunter, obviously, and 30 fields back then, so.
It's a fresh looking ground, filling out a bit, a lot of traffic around boundaries. The seats, which are, to be said, fairly closed, are not that full.
Colleen Bowles get from Beckenham, and that's sort of miscued a little by Ben Compton, after the cover fielder.
No run, so still, here. If you can around him, might even bowl out.
I feel like you sort of have to harsh to when you do it at the end or nil here as he starts running for bowls. This one, Tom, back by Ben Compton, no run.
Did one, in the way that it played out at 6 on today. If you might have if he'd done a third down, in such good form at that inning, 4 wickets, and you swear it's easy behind balls.
Comes for Jan and bowl. That was probably stumps length, and much been talking about that one. And you made the point obviously to 3 first before but at the second spell,
and they still had further on. He did pick a wicket in that second spell. That looked like the key wicket. It landed.
Yes, it was. That's Tilling Bowles again. That's just on the leg side a little bit more time, and Compton just sort of pushes it to mid on for the dot ball. Danny, I imagine that most of the faithful were thinking, oh, he's caused so many problems even so far.
Yeah, certainly in Alfred Canterbury, he was the man of the eye. So this
was out, hit over balls. Flat time and back into it until the scout, and that is made no.
Just to go back after that game, where his figures were so impressive, he gave a pretty lead. Did an interview with Aidan Harms. He's obviously played well. He's always disappointed because I think he'd taken 5 wickets, and that meant he had to get around. Chris, comes in from the team to 12 after the covered field. He makes a later than Robinson ball the best. Rob will come to have the run. Sorely needed for the Spitfires. Nicely played shot. Finch just punching one under it for and that 50 up for the Spitfires.
Yeah, it's not been easy to come by. It was just a little by Robertson and sort of form Finch has been in recently. Obviously, he scored a very impressive century in the showcase game against Norfolk, and he had 35 or so on. Massey wasn't a fire.
With his whistle past, which had Finch, who just almost reproaches himself for the shot that he played there down the wicket, prodded 2 times. Gives himself a few seconds back down. That wasn't really any whiff of an appeal, but Finch not happy with the play there as Robinson comes in the out. His foot. Call it a for a single there from Rhodes. He annoyed with himself that he didn't get that.
I think he was, and then he went for the old. Oh, I picked it up cleanly after all, and then pretended to throw the ball. So I imagine there was I should have gotten off a Melton indoor for hope.
He did reversing, so they played a match in the things again. Is on strike, and Robinson comes to the city. One is slightly took to the but thinks about getting it to the fielder and decides to just leave it to Ackerman. Squad row 3 in the 7th over here on the ground. Deadly up all day until Port out. Robin Compton again just played out to a showed of out. Rennie Robin for the Durham and says other Chris Streak in the Valley what they do. G here as into the cap people to leave the as due to very strong headers. Is one keep for right, so we for Durham. Now in on Rob.
Been tipped from. That's Belaine push to the for another double. And just try to carry on here. Actually, he'll just go on and he's able to push his master at the same speed.
It certainly looks like he's going to ball out here. He's talking about Rob in the mid-cup tank.
Actually, again, straight that back length again. I think any feel there. You ended during the one day up and reminded me sort of game today. Very good.
Yeah, they're down to Senate. Sort of intimidating place. Play I think they're out on Friday.
The calls, foot driven, but he sort of killed it, but he didn't really try it down, so he found potentially beating the back straight down round.
Yes, they might be in real mode here. 3 with Dick Lean and not be too pleased with him.
False start there as the others. It looked like he was in the bottom of his boot. But didn't look up in time. He set away, and he'll have to retire that as he gets his back. Ball 2, and driven again, but once seven colleagues straight to on.
Yeah, field the district will load send Durham in that game against Somerset. The thumb to play game wasn't the form.
Balls. And that's a splash. I looked it a little bit low on captain. Not if he got back and then had to just lap it, but yeah, it doesn't seem we've seen a certain bit this year for 17 under sort of as well.
Very first game that covered his game wasn't done. I'll return to it.
Actually involved on Beckenham. I think that's a reasonable shout, but it looks like a Shan. And that's the end of it. That's made for the young Durham bowler.
It is exceptional. It's the exceptional figure left here. Imagine that he will bowl out. Continuing the Sydney. First was Kevin, that was 21. At a biblical amount of runs that day was I think one with kind of score where basically got to go hard from the start. We're not going to hold change your this from the end.
It's been relatively early on. I did say it in the back colleagues sat beside me. The Compton has struggled this. He gets him every now and then. I wanted to hand him Mary Finch. We'll fight in due course, I'm sure.
It's up his sleeve. It's a bit like sort of filled out. As well, that front of the odd for 41. He was on the moon and actually here comes the ball right around Compton. A single day against so will take the strike.
Yeah, he Jake brought in during her friend request.
Yeah, he didn't get picked. So I've been fairly frustrated by that. He's ready to on Friday night summer. As the Driscoll's in switching over the wicket, Fitch just takes the thing. Field, it goes back to Robinson. Fairly clinical for Harry Fisher, driving through any more than slip back in, and the road is playing its north lip as Copland. That will drive like one for it.
Much quicker between wickets, Harry Fisher. He was for second one, but
I think they
need to take service this.
Well, after what happened a few years ago, but doing a bit of art out in the middle. Just comes back in, but Fisher kind of classical forward defensive stroke. Just putting it also no can remind 57. Took back. It's trying to quite get what to go, and it's Cluberly fielded by Paul Coughlin. So he was trying to reverse sweep it past Coughlin. Coughlin exactly the right place. It didn't really go where he wanted to go. Comes back in, right arm, and try to get a single off this, and you call that they did late moment, aren't they?
Yeah. I suppose at this stage, during the overs, all you can strike takers, especially in a spot at 3. Until I see them with the ball on the floor, and really starting to see that run up probably to 4s and 5s, and then air end. There's this somewhere down the order, so
it's like give this a bowl out. It's going to be fun over. Free him to spell. Another down.
Starts to run up and bowls, and it's just a lot in my head. Look, they tried to guide that one down to third point, get it up to beat the point fielder. But, you know, it's 13 in a row now, anyways, counting.
His economy rate at the moment is absolute. Colleen has gone for 1.66 from the 9 overs that he's bowled.
3 maidens in there as well. As he bowls.
It's a slightly odd bit of cricket there.
Looks like Harry Finch bottom edged that straight into the ground, and then Ollie Robinson took it one-handed. I think he tried to club one bounce his Tribby, but overall in professional cricket.
Unfortunately, in this situation, yeah, it was strange. It was sort of a muted almost. What he followed through with.
Bowls, yeah, driven at Harry Finch, and that's right. Did quite not on that one, I don't think, Harry Finch. But I think at this point, he might be trying to see this over off.
I think they're very pleased to see the back of Killing 20 and 19 into now his 3 first-class game. I should think he played quite a few of this.
Yeah, and once again, for this, it's not really that way. To be honest, it likes it like it's not necessarily an easy wicket to bounce, so I might be sticking a little bit. And him slow as well, so yeah, more balls left of this over, and it'll be very easy the pitching as he gets the top of his mark and once again. And that's patted back end.
His list best big king whatever the rest of this over. bet 230 to take for it today. And he's got one more left.
As he runs off the
Leg
leg
left.
and finished of Benno's made and 2 wickets for that's as good as the goals in it.
Can't the man Haley for the performance he's delivered here in his opening 10 overs. Important might well be player of the match performance. Obviously, the cricket to be played yet, but really can't anymore from young bowler open here in the Metro Bank.
And it will be Driscoll taking in.
George Driscoll from the hitting bowling, slightly shorter, and a single at 3 there, comfortable in the end. Good way down. Keep that and Rowe spinning in, and a couple was taken, so couldn't let Driscoll goes round the stand. Will, yeah. Laura lead out.
It certainly is.
So it's very different cricket here at Beckenham we do in Canterbury. So right behind the wicket here. Finch tries a reverse sweep again, and this one again doesn't quite get the direction he needs. Similarly, the number 3 is the fielder here. At short third.
He's quite a ball down here. It's takes a lot to get it past him, but it's better for him to get it further around, so that's fine that time.
He might work a bit more for Doctor. Still a ball. Driscoll comes back in, bowling to Finch. Finch let that one go down the leg side. That takes wide. So added to the Kent total. Kent lead on 63 here in the 20 over. Driscoll bowls again. Finch just play forward defence. Finch marking his thing and Hams to pick the ball and run. Driscoll's in again for this TM. This one is driven. He drives possibly word for that shot. An elegant sort of swish by Finch, but it's fielded as no run either.
Yeah, that one was floated up a little bit more. It started central to free his hands a little bit more and really played through the line of the ball. So I'm sure he's not complaining as we are serenade with the Wii Sports music at Beckenham. And it will be the match a couple of times, Paul Linton one in the end.
Yeah,
and Fred, I do have a question for in discussion yesterday. We read end Beckenham, we decide that this end is the Palace end, but we haven't did that in the far end. Have any
geographically, would be the cinema end.
Potentially.
Your South East London geography, which is
I've been on my right bit. We can cover that way, but we would, to be honest. So we're in greatly as stuff is wrapped and
sure. That's because there was absolutely no idea which would absolutely fringe it, and by it's a very strange.
Yeah, then sort of out. They tried to cut that one over. The ball sort of cannoned off the kid gloves and the finger, but I think he might have a feather on it. But I told him this time it's a Harry Finch. Balls blocked to the short mid wicket fielder. I think that's a mere day.
And one thing I will say about Durham is that compared to what we've seen at Canterbury and Beckenham this season, they're very quiet field by comparison. You guys that come down and basically screw for absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Durham, which from a cricketing purist point of view, I definitely prefer this approach. They've let their performances do talk.
The tall team of bowls and played Harry Finch. But like he was talking to me through the shot, but it quite away with his body. So it's like fumble as the ball's going back to the bowler there. But you're right. Even when we played Leicestershire over a 4-day game, the Leicestershire was still having a fantastic. We could hear the probably if you were outside the dial. So you make a very good point there.
Theatrical at times.
Back of a length, and again Finch just looked like he didn't know whether to back that one, but beat the outside. A little bit of movement there as well from the Durham bowler.
And I get why they left-handed lip, so I understand it. There are times when wait a bit, and about dismissal I'll return to in a second.
Come over the wicket again, and that's straighter and fuller, but Finch once again did it and no run.
And the one I'm particularly was the Daniel Bell Drummond dismissal at Auger, where it all basically went, and Daniel's reaction was basically the thing that came over to him. Why would you appeal for a catch off you?
And ball cut away nicely by through the dapper cover. It'll be straight to that sweeper for a single. And an option of in that game in the chat during the 4th innings when Kent did wicket desperately and they were appealing for a bit more than they should have done. Everyone moaning to appeal is a line thing that the appealing too much to appealing to some little change in the commentary hot seat as well practically, and we will confirm who is replacing him, but it will be Driscoll to continue, which comes out and drives. But that one straight to the middle fielder. It's a very precise field, which one on the offside, two on the side. Driscoll bowls into that region, but straight to the short wicket field for L. I'm going to be joined by head of media Liam Knight. Liam, welcome back.
Hello.
Started us off today.
Yes.
Driscoll darts that one in again, but once again, Finch straight side wicket fielder. Enjoying this?
Yeah, it's nice and sunny here. Those people in. I would say we do apologise for the stream today. Sheena's trying to work on it.
Driscoll bowls a little bit full of time and Finch past that fielder to sweeper. Single.
Yeah, we have the infrastructure we're used to carry, so please bear with us while we try and fix out that. We will be commentating as if we were on, so hopefully our words paint a picture for you if the stream is white ball.
So now coming round is Stephen Content, who sponges through the cover area to for another single. And that'll be one more in this over, I believe. And it'll be Harry Finch to face up. Driscoll bowls. That's a little bit fuller than we've seen the rest of the over, but just respected by the Kent captain. And that's the end of the 23rd over. 23 overs done, 66 for 3. Are you getting concerned if you're the Kent dressing room at the moment?
I think there is now a slight, not concern, but thoughts of we need to get runs on the board here. The run rate is under 3, but these two have stuck around.
Yeah, partnership's worth 39 now.
Yeah, they came together after 3 quick wickets. The opening bowlers for Durham did really well. So Coughlin comes in then from the Beckenham end. And that's played nicely by Compton. He will get 1.
Yeah, and how nice is it to see Ben Compton in coloured kit playing white ball cricket? It's sort of what they've needed today, sort of a bit of a rock like he has been all season long.
Yeah, people were crying out for him last year when the selection policy was slightly different to this year, and he wasn't selected in the squad for the tournament. So it's good to see him back in, getting some runs here. He's playing that vital anchor role. He's now at the non-striker's end. Coughlin comes in again, past the umpire, bowls slightly back of a length. Harry Finch plays it to point, and there will be no run.
Durham fielded well so far. It's not been messy. They've kept it tight, and sort of those opportunities that you may see other teams try and sneak a single, they've made sure that it's absolutely not on here.
Yeah, they've been right on the money. There's the field placements from Ollie Robinson have been very good, and nothing's gone under a fielder or bobbled over them, like we might have seen yesterday at the Kent Women Northants Steelback swimming game. Coughlin comes in again, then past the umpire bowls. Back of a length again, it sort of pops up at Finch. There'll be no run.
Yeah, which is it's such a, you said it yourself yesterday, it's an absolute rock hard outfield that we've seen some inconsistent bounces yesterday in particular. So yeah, Durham doing really well so far to negate the run rate here.
Yeah, we're on a different track to the women's game. We're 2 pitches across, and that the deck that the women played on, let's just say, took spin quite well with loads of wickets for Liv Barnes, as Kent nearly got the victory then. Coughlin comes in again, almost finds the edge of Finch's bat. He's trying to cut it away. He practices the shot again, goes through to Ollie Robinson, and there is no run.
But yeah, it was a wonderful start to the 2 weeks at Beckenham, wasn't it, yesterday, with what almost turned into an absolute thriller. Kent, particularly in the second half of the bowling innings, bowled incredibly well and sort of made a opportunity to win out of nothing, really. So hopefully a sign of good cricket to come.
Yeah, Coughlin comes in again, then charges in. Quite a long run up, comes in, bowls. Back of a length again, there'll be no run, fielded well in the covers. Yeah, yesterday it seemed that Kent were dead and buried with Northants. I think they got over 100 for one wicket, chasing 164, and Kent came back with, it felt like 6 wickets in about 5 overs, didn't it? I don't know if that's quite right, but
We wouldn't. I think it was 6 wickets for 12 runs at one stage.
yeah, and it looked like there could be a shock on the cards. Coughlin comes in again. Bowles, Finch hooks that away. He will find the rope here to set the 2 fielders. That's a well played boundary, much needed boundary for Kent. Finch moves on to 21, and Kent at the end of the over are 71 for 3.
Yeah, much needed, as you said, and I suppose we've seen it with Harry Finch that he can sort of get himself in, and then all of a sudden he can just snap and look like he's still playing T20 cricket. We saw it against Norfolk. He hit 50 and about 11 balls, I think it was in the end towards the end of that innings. So wouldn't surprise me if after the drinks break that should be coming up in an over's time that we might see a different approach from Harry Finch now that he's sort of seeing it quite nicely. As Drissel will continue from that far end. Compton rocks back, punches it through the gap, and that is the first misfield from the Durham fielder that allows a single. It looked like Compton was about to set off anyway. Finchy didn't move very much, but I think it just bounced off the end of Borthwick's finger, I believe it was, and the strike keeps rotating.
Yeah, Borthwick pushed it around the post, didn't he?
Good save. And Finch faces this one, drives back down the ground.
On the topic of football, we do wish Crystal Palace, our neighbours here at Beckenham, very best of luck in the Community Shield against Liverpool today.
Yeah, should be a thriller. As Compton faces again, that one was fuller this time, and he drives it out to cover. Throw in on the one bounce, no problems there, and we're really flying through these overs from the far end, aren't we?
Yeah, spin has come on early, which we again saw at the women's game yesterday.
Drissel balls Finch goes straight back down the ground. Looks like there'll be just a single there. And yeah, and I did notice earlier, even the seamers, the ball seemed to just be holding in the pitch a little bit, and that's why it's so tricky to get away when it's on the back of a length. So I'm not surprised to see sort of the spinners flying through here. As Drissel bowls, Compton rocks back again, but that's straight to the fielder, and we missed it just then, but that was the 50 partnership up between Ben Compton and Harry Finch. Comes off 102 balls, so you'd call it slow, but I think it's been what they've needed at this point in the game, as that one's just patted back from Ben Compton.
They have been watchful, haven't they? They know that there's batting still to come with the likes of Ekant Singh, Jack Leaning, Mo Rizvi and Fred Klassen, who at times in the Vitality Blast looked like a world beater with the bat, didn't he?
Yeah.
His orange grip bat. Netherlands international Fred Klassen.
And even Matt Parkinson can hold the bat. It's one advantage of sort of this side is that they do bat quite deep. So it'll be interesting to see if they'll all be required today.
Players take a drink then at the halfway stage of the Kent innings. Lovely hot sunny day at Beckenham here today. First helicopter of the day goes over the ground after the plethora of planes that have gone over so far on their way to Heathrow.
Yeah. And Corey Flintoff finally making his way out to the middle for the host.
Yeah, Corey's on drinks duties
and
today.
here comes Dortz with a few pairs of gloves as well.
Yeah, so for those of you that haven't been to Beckenham before, we'll try and paint a picture of how it's laid out now. As you come into the ground, you'll see the imposing academy building to your right with a large on the front of it. That's where all the academy players and age group players that are based in the west of the county train. It's also been a training base for some touring tests before the Overlord. We've had Australia here a couple of years as well. Pavilion is across the way to that, on the left as you come in of the ground itself. We've got the main stand, which is full of green seats. Lots of people in there today taking advantage of that slightly elevated position, and then behind that, it's hanger, doesn't it, Nick? It's the Crystal Palace Academy building with a giant eagle on the front, which is obscured by one of the trees behind the main stand. And then the media marquee with Crystal Palace's training ground right behind us, who got us sprinklers yesterday training.
So they're obviously tinkering their plans, possibly setting here. We seeing as it gets valuable as well. There's a better way to spend a day out than getting some Metro Bank fever first.
I think it's one of these. If you summoning haven't maybe seen before, it's a good day to shoot the game to them. One of our hosts here, there will be a free seat as well that they can sign. You don't really see that in other sports, so it's great to see this buying into this ethos of showing that this is a game for everyone, and that the generation of supporters grew from this position, as we've seen with the playing squad names in the team. We've seen Jay Denley back to May second innings with his left arm spin. Steve Finch has put his helmet back on to join, both with fresh pairs of gloves, thanks to Ben Dawkins. Corey Flintoff's walking with the drinks.
Yeah, not at all surprised as well to see if there's so much talent coming through at the moment. Good to see. And even the be running drink or just being in the it's still great for them to be around the first team.
Kurt as well, the next one at Kent batting all-rounder assigned a rookie. Coughlin will return from the end, and Harry Finch will defend back to run. Yeah, Ollie Curtis, the latest player to sign up for the Metrobank One Day Cup, plays his club cricket for St Lawrence and Highland Court in the Canterbury area.
Yeah, big all-rounder, isn't he? He's surprised when he came to the office last week about just how big he was, but he's a top-order batter that can bowl. He's just coming back off a pretty nasty injury, I've heard, so it'll be great to see him back bowling again soon.
Yeah, he's been able to bat, but the bowling is coming back slowly as Coughlin comes in again. Finch defends him into the offside. There will be no run again. Coughlin I think he's got something in his eye. Just rubbing it away.
Well, we did see Ben Compton struggle with a insect of sorts a little bit earlier on as he was facing up. So I wonder if we've got a little what's the word? Swarm, like you've seen sometimes before, where they just sort of fly across the length of the pitch.
Here comes Coughlin again then. Past the umpire, jumps into his delivery, slide bowls. That's driven into the offside by Finch, no run again. Durham coaches walk around the outfield in, what would you describe that colour, Nick? Magenta training kit?
Violet, maybe?
Yeah, potentially.
For the north, along the back, I like that. You got hot pink, sky blue, red, purple. Got half the rainbow on there.
It's strong.
I like it a lot.
Coughlin then takes his mark, comes in, steams past the umpire, bowls back of the length again, and Finch tries to play that off, and Point grabs it, throws it at the stumps of the non-strikers, but Ben Compton's back in his crease.
Yeah, Borthwick's done that a few times now from backward point. He's had his eyes on Ben Compton, who does stray a little bit further down the wicket when he backs up. I think he's always looking to be one step ahead, Ben Compton. So he's done well to stay alert and get back in plenty of time there.
Coughlin again. Comes in. Bowls. Good length again. Sneaks through the defences of Harry Finch, but misses the stumps. He might have got an inside edge on that one. Oliver Robinson picks it up, and there is no run again.
Yeah, just to add on to this Durham member of staff, he has got the whole rainbow on. He's got luminous green shoes as well. I can really get behind that, I think.
Someone make sure that Sam Billings doesn't see them, because he will definitely pick up a pair of those. Famous for his bright orange spikes. Coughlin comes in again. Bowls a little bit fuller, still a good length, and Finch plays that away. That was going towards the stump, so it was good that Finch got a bit of bat on that one. Goes through to the wicket keeper. There's no run.
Yes, and as we listen to the Coconut Mall song from Mario Kart Wii, Harry Finch has done that twice in a row there. He just blocked it straight into the ground, and it oh, there you go. You know what? Let's just enjoy the music.
If you're not aware of that song, this is why we're doing Kids for a Quid.
Yeah, and they're all having a good laugh about it. I mean, I'm having an even better laugh about it as well. Growing up playing Mario is iconic. Nothing better. Looks like it'll be Drissel to continue from the city end. Full of that time, Compton cuts 2 Wool Roads at point. He makes no mistake for a dot ball. Yeah, it's as you mentioned earlier, Ollie Robinson's got his field pretty spot on so far, hasn't he?
He's no stranger to this ground and know the dimensions very well.
Bowled again. Pushed into the leg side, but to mid-wicket. Yeah, and obviously Kent Academy product. You probably would have played hundreds and hundreds of games here over the years, I'd imagine.
Yeah, quite a few. I've seen a few Robinson innings here in my time as well.
As Drissel bowls, Compton comes down the track and pushes it through the gap between mid-on and mid-wicket. That's a lovely shot from Ben Compton, but will it have the legs to go? I think he's done very well there, the fielder at mid-on.
It was willed across the line by a young fan over there. You can hear them screaming at the ball to reach the rope. It didn't quite. It was well fielded.
Yeah, and it was very good work. He's covered a lot of ground. It's very wide here, isn't it, compared to straight, so he's done well there and slid in just before the rope. As Drissel bowls that time a bit fuller, and Harry Finch will drive straight back down the ground for a single. as we have a jumbo jet flying overhead.
Yeah, this is the perfect storm for playing and cricket enthusiasts, this ground, I think.
As Driscoll bowls, Compton just pushes it into the gap for a single. Yeah, I'm in heaven here. I unfortunately fall under both those categories, so I'm having a great time. As the off spinner gets ready at the top of his mark. And that looked like it was doing a little bit more flight, as it's a good length and it's just blocked by Harry Finch.
So at the end of the over then, Kent Spitfires are now 80 for 3 after 27 overs. My name's Liam, I'm here with Nick at the Kent Cricket live stream, proudly sponsored by Cluberly. We do apologise for the buffering here. The infrastructure here at Beckenham isn't playing ball today, so we will give you full audio coverage of this match in lieu of BBC Radio not being here for the Metro Bank One Day Cup. And it looks like Coughlin will continue from the Beckenham end.
He certainly will.
With his long run up, almost reaches the Dafabet boards there. Comes in past the umpire. Going round the wicket now to Compton, who plays that nicely for a single. It almost seems like the game has settled a little bit now, with these two having built a partnership worth more than 50 runs now. Compton's been there the whole time, and Harry Finch has come in as skipper. Of course, him and himself are our dual captains for the One Day Cup this year. As Coughlin comes in again, bowls. That's slightly fuller, and Finch clips that off his legs. That's a very handsome looking shot. Will the fielder stop it? No, that's 4 more to the total, and that takes Kent up to 85 for 3.
Yeah, and I think that's the first sort of bad ball we've seen this afternoon. It was full, it was on the pads, and I think a man of Harry Finch's talent's never going to miss out on that one.
Yeah, he's a very tidy cricketer, is Harry Finch. He's now become a bit of an all-format player for Kent after originally, and we can go into this a bit more detail if we do have time later on. Obviously, Harry Finch is a Kent Muck Spitfire from the 2021 season. We can go into that later on if we have time. Coughlin again comes in. Finch, oh, he's cut that straight to point. Finch trying to hit out again after a lovely looking boundary. And he's picked out, I think that's Ball's wicket point.
I believe that's the third. That's the exact same wicket as Joey Everson and Chris Benjamin. Just sort of half cut at the ball, didn't play through the shot, and Ballfoot diving forward holds on again.
Yeah, Coughlin gets his first wicket then. Harry Finch departs for 28. He was there trying to rebuild that partnership with Ben Compton, but he's now got to go. Skipper departs to some warm applause from outside the academy building here.
Yeah, not a bad innings at all. Very much needed, given the circumstances. I'm sure he would have liked to double that at least, but yeah, it's sort of got Kent back in this one almost.
Yeah.
As it looks like it'll be young Ekant Singh to come out, a very classy batter.
Yes.
What do you reckon we can expect?
He's of this end of Kent, is Ekant Singh. He's played for a few clubs around this area, so I'm sure a few of his former and current club mates will be here at Beckenham today to cheer him on. He's a classy looking stroke maker, is Ekant Singh. We've seen in his few county championship and Metro Bank One Day Cup appearances so far that he has the shots in his locker if he wants to use them, and this is a great opportunity for him from a development point of view, that he's now coming in with Kent at 85 for 4 with runs needed. Not many more batters in the hutch still, and it'll be down to him to try and affect the score. And there's not many people you'd want at the other end than Ben Compton.
Yeah, I feel like they've batted a lot together this year, obviously with Ekant being the red ball or preferred number 3 at the moment. When that first wicket falls, if Compton's still around, they would have had a lot of time at the crease together. And when Ekant's gotten set, they've looked quite a good duo, I think. So obviously Ekant's quite quick between the wickets. Compo's quite keen to keep that strike ticking over. So
yeah, so Eki is going to face his first ball from Coughlin, who comes in full again, and Singh drives that into the onside. There'll be no run.
Yeah, and he's not looked to block that one at all.
No, he's trying to get runs straight away, isn't he?
Yeah, not surprised.
In comes Coughlin again then. Comes in full again to Ekant Singh. Look at that lovely high elbow. That's what we're saying when the technique is there from Ekant Singh.
It's just tricky. The purist would like that one. Got over the ball, head over the ball, played it under his eyes. Good cricket. Yeah, that partnership between Harry Finch and Ben Thompson ended up being worth 60 in the end. So that's well over half the 10 total, so sets them up nicely.
Here comes Coughlin again then. Comes in past the umpire, bowls slightly back of a length that one, and Singh's up on his toes to defend. So Ekant Singh, born in Orpington, which is just down the road here. Plays his club cricket for Dartford Cricket Club, again round these sort of areas. His favourite sports person is Roger Federer.
That's a lovely fact.
Favourite film, Shawshank Redemption, strong choice. And obviously nobody's perfect. He's an Arsenal fan. So
But we're avoiding the football agencies on this stream today.
So Ekant Singh will want to get some runs here in front of, let's call it a home crowd. Ekant Singh into the second year of his rookie deal with the county.
Thompson will face up to Drissel from the city end, as we're having to call it. And he pats it back to cover for no run. As a very noisy helicopter's going over top, I think. So did they not get the memo that there's cricket on today?
I don't think you can make this a no-fly zone, because I think Heathrow would get slightly annoyed.
It's Ben Compton. Floatier delivery that time, and it flicked off his pads into the gap for another single. I think slightly annoyed is an understatement.
Yeah, so Ekant Singh has made his second 11 debut back in 2022, and he's been in the Kent age groups since he was 10 years old. So Kent through and through is Ekant Singh. Lovely to see him getting an opportunity in the One Day Cup.
Drissel bowls to the young man, and he goes big early on, and that's a much welcome boundary. That's intent from Ekant Singh there. Nice floaty delivery, nice and full. And he sort of just plays straight through the ball. Didn't try and whack it for 6, but just made sure he beat the fielder, and that's 4 more.
I think that's another clip for you, isn't it, Nick?
It certainly will be,
That might be on the social channels a little bit later on.
Or not when he betters it on this next delivery, mate. But yeah, I'll be swapping out at the end of this over, so stay tuned and please like the tweet if I do post it. That'll be very helpful. As Singh again goes straight down the ground, and I told you he'd do a better one than a ball after, because that is a lovely shot from Ekant Singh.
Wow.
Pure timing, that one, straight out the middle of the bat.
Nick Stradamus predicts.
So what's going to happen next? Oh, here we go. This is now fun.
Well, they do need to find the ball before we get another delivery.
Gives me more time to think. I like it.
Young Kent fan throws it back in.
However, I've just spotted a gentleman at the top of the green stand wearing a green shirt, and you can't see him.
Oh yeah.
He's camouflaged very nicely up there. I can get behind that a lot.
Yeah, it looks like John Cena is here today.
That's a huge pull, as Ekant Singh's going to block this one.
Really thank you, Durham, who looks after our social media pages. You're listening to the Kent Cricket live stream, proudly sponsored by Cluberly. And Drissel will come and complete his over, and Ben Compton defends that. There is no run. At the end of the over, Kent Spitfires are 95 for 4. I will be joined by Molly, Kent wicket keeper. Hello, Molly.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, good.
Oh, did my walk, come back, lovely lap of the ground. Lots of people in today, and everyone's enjoying some sunshine, watching some cricket.
How's the ice cream van doing today?
I I think they've been pretty busy. I'm
Yeah.
sure there'll be a visit from one of us here later today.
So I think Coughlin's going to continue from the Beckenham end. As Jazz Singh, Jaden Denley and Corey Flintoff walk in front of us. Coughlin's in again. Pulls Fuller. Defended nicely by Singh. Did you find out anything else on your walk around the ground, Molly?
I didn't know. I was sort of ear to the ground to see if I could find out any information, but unfortunately I didn't come back with any fun facts this time. But I'm sure Fred Atkins, when he reappears, will be a man of some interesting information.
Yeah, we've got a volunteer stream of all of us that are doing other jobs here today. Hope you're enjoying the audio. We do apologise about the pictures at the moment as Coughlin comes in again. That's a lovely high elbowed drive. Ekant Singh beats two fielders. It might not go all the way. It was stopped nicely by one of the fielders there near the rope. They will come back for three. Three more to Ekant Singh. How impressed have you been by Ekant Singh, Molly, as a player yourself?
I think he's been brilliant. I've watched a lot of him this year, obviously in the Red Bull stuff as well, and sort of I think that's going to transition into the white ball game. But I think obviously it's been a message that he's come out with today. Just be positive, play your shots, don't get too bogged down by the situation. And that youth and fearless cricket, I think, is what's needed right now.
Coughlin prepares again then for a new delivery. Comes in, round the wicket. Ben Compton nudges that into the onside. They'll get a single.
Yeah, I think obviously when he's coming out with that intent to
very well as Coughlin comes in again. Ekant Singh, that's a lovely sort of arched back sort of lap. Just beats point though. Point was in play there.
I was about to say what you can't see on the stream is the point fielder jumping up almost goalkeeper style.
Yeah, he's rubbing his shoulder.
He did go up quite high, and I think he's obviously landed maybe a little bit funny, but
Is that ball through? I think it is. So he's now moved position for the left-handed Ben Compton. Coughlin comes in again and Compton defends. There'll be no run. Yeah, that main stand is now filling up nicely. It was quite sparse earlier on, and Nick pointed out when he was on earlier, the people that are sat up there with English shirts, you can't really see them.
there's a couple, isn't there, that are sort of camouflage.
Shall we call them emerald green seats that are here at the County Ground Beckenham?
Yeah, I'm sure they're enjoying the sun and having a good view of the cricket.
Coughlin comes in again then. Compton plays that nicely. There is a man down at third. I'll get a single. Compton will keep the strike. End of the over, and Kent have reached 101 for 4. And that is the end of the 30th over. Now, Molly, surely tradition in one-day cricket means you double your score at 30 overs. So even then, this score, we need more runs, basically, don't we?
I think that's a fair assessment. I think, again, the same Beckenham's a road sometimes doesn't fall under that remit, and it's adjusting your own plans when you're out there. Cricket's obviously very adaptable, isn't it?
Mm.
So, again, as we said earlier, you can't judge a pitch until both teams are batted. And that has been reversed by Ben Compton, but straight to the fielder, so there will be no run.
He's done that a few times this year. I think it's slowly coming into his arsenal.
Yeah, as Drissel continues.
Grandson of Dennis Compton, who played for Arsenal and he played cricket as well. If you didn't get the pun.
Full of fun facts, aren't you, today? And again, he's in, bowls. Compton uses his feet, quick single in the ring. It'll be comfortable in the end as the Durham fielder tries to cut that off at a short mid wicket actually. But it's another single to the total. One more to Ben Compton. And Ekant Singh faces up again to Giselle. A bit shorter this time, worked off the pads of Singh down to sort of deep third. That's deep square leg, isn't it?
He's timed that nicely. It has gone quite far for not much contact on the bat, so Ekant Singh's timing it well out here. Yeah, we've no days.
He bowls again. Swept. That has missed everything. Quick single, comfortable in the end. We'll see what the umpire signals. So it looks like it was bat, as there's nothing coming over from the umpire.
from this angle,
I think he's done well to hit it onto his own
yeah, I
stumps.
don't know how that's not hit the stumps.
Good intent though, as we were saying, with Singh coming to the crease. Compton's again moved through the gears. In again, bowls. Hit hard. Diving effort from the cover fielder. Makes it past them. Ball races out, gets picked up. And it will just be 2 in the end. I mean, a difficult chance, but a chance nonetheless.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good goalkeeping on show from the Durham fielders today. They are very good in the field. I think it was Emilio Gay that tried to Gordon Banks it.
This one again just been dropped into the leg side by Singh, out to deep square leg. And if I'm honest, I don't think Durham are going to mind this, are they?
No, they're still very much on top, and it'll be up to them to mop this tail up from Kent. Kent's task now is to get runs on the board. They don't have many overs left to play with. We've now got 19 overs left, and they're 107 for 4. So, batter still to come. Jack Leaning, Mo Rizvi, Fred Klassen, Matt Parkinson and Mikey Cohen.
I mean, from a Kent perspective, obviously there's batting still in that lineup, but I'm sure if you're in the Durham camp right now, you're thinking 2 more wickets, and you're probably in a prime position.
Yeah, they've done well to get to this position, I think, Durham. As Coughlin bowls another over from the Beckenham end. This will be his 6th over. And he comes in then, back of a length, sings up on his toes, he plays it into the offside, he'll get 1.
So if you're batting now for Kent, when do you look to really try and be overly positive and attacking here?
I think 10 overs, 10 and over is 100 runs. But even then, I think you need to go up a gear now, I'd say, and then you've got more room to be even more expansive as the innings comes to an end. But then on the flip side, you don't want to lose all your wickets and you're defending 108.
Yeah.
As Coughlin comes in then, round the wicket to Compton. Compton plays that through the legs of the Durham fielder, but they are making good ground here to only keep it to a 2.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's now about stepping up the gear, isn't it? But you don't want to lose 2 quick wickets here because you would be in, I'd say, in quite big trouble. But it's an opportunity for young Ekant Singh here to sort of make a mark for himself and state a claim.
Yeah, we were saying that Ekant is no stranger to playing cricket in this area. Coughlin comes in again to Compton and cuts it away. He'll get 1. It's mopped up well in the deep.
Just looking at the acrobaticness of the Durham fielders, and I think we said it might have been Will Rhodes that was fielding at point. Just seems to be hobbling slightly. I think his last few dives after the last few overs, he's maybe landed a bit funny.
Yeah, he's favouring that left leg a little bit, isn't he? Coughlin comes in again over the wicket to Ekant Singh, who dabs that into the offside point. Does the fielding no run?
Yeah, and he's in the game all the time, Will Rhodes, isn't he? He's a bit of discomfort at the moment. I think when he did that acrobatic goalkeeping stop, he landed slightly funny. I'm sure he'll be okay, but as we said here, the ground at Beckenham is quite dry and it is hard, isn't it? So, especially on the square where he's currently fielding, I'm sure it's not that pleasant to fall upon.
Coughlin comes in again then to Ekant Singh. He's on 18. Comes in, Singh cuts that away. It's a lovely looking shot again. He'll find the fielder on the boundary rope and he'll only get 1, but that was another lovely looking shot from Ekant Singh. Now Compton takes strike on 49 off 78.
Yeah, he's anchored this, isn't he, for Kent? He's been the person as it stands.
Yeah, he's done the Ben Compton role, let's say, that we've seen so often in the county championship. Coughlin comes in again. Compton defends that one. He's going to get a quick single. He's got to run. He's got to get there, and he does. So Ben Compton reaches his half century in 79 deliveries. Ben Compton salutes the pavilion, and they clap at him for his good performance so far. Ben Compton, milestones, two words that have been said in the same sentence for a long time.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm sure these them words have said quite a lot, especially over this season. He's batted really well and definitely put in some performances for his team. And I'm sure the dressing room are very happy for him today to have had a contribution as it stands, and hoping he can probably bat for the majority of this rest of the innings.
And having a innings like this from Compton means that one of the young players that's just walked in front of us, actually, Ben Dawkins, he gets to see how Ben goes around his business, and hopefully he learns a lot from Ben Compton. Obviously Ben Compton's one of our more senior players now.
Indeed. As Ben Compton just guides that down to third, where the work is done, just a single, and obviously there's a change of bowling. Yusuf has come back on.
He's very quick, isn't he?
He is. I was saying this, I think, early doors at the start of the game. Him and Killeen were actually very, obviously on the money, but also some wheels behind them. There was a short ball actually from Yusuf. I think he bowled it to Ben Compton for the free hit, and it went up and over Ben Compton's head. But I think he was a bit surprised at how quick that came through.
Coughlin takes a well-deserved drink here on the boundary.
This one, Ekant Sting off the back foot, just plays it to point, where the work is done by Giselle. Yeah, I think potentially Will Rhodes has been moved out of point. Maybe potentially to give him a bit of a breather.
Yeah, there seems to have been a lot of spin at the other end, so Drissell's bowled quite a few from that end, and now they've brought pace back on, raw pace.
Yeah, trying to get that breakthrough again, aren't they, here, Durham? As he runs in and bowls again off the back foot, just been punched up to mid-off. Nearly wrong-footed him, but he in the end did the work.
Borthwick again, Gordon Banks. He's saving everything today.
Yeah. This will be the tally here, won't it? I think these next couple of overs, I think, to how the state of play is going to end up back end of the game. As he's in, bowls. Again, thick outside edge from Singh. Comes down to Coughlin, so it's just been picked up down here at third. Just a single.
I'm sure as many kids as possible are getting their faces painted for free as part of our activation. I think, Molly, next time you're on a break, I think you need to get the Kent Spitfires logo on your cheek.
I'm sure that's something you'd want to do, wouldn't it? Have your face painted?
You're twisting my arm here, I might have to.
As again, as Yusuf runs in. Again, that's been picked up by backward point. Drops his hands there, Ben Compton, to try and get it round.
Yeah, Drissell, lovely little stop there, and a throw straight into the stumps.
Yeah, I don't think Durham is taking any prisoners here, the back end of the innings. I think they're going to want to obviously bowl Kent out and not give him the opportunity to keep adding runs to the total. But I think if you're Ollie Robinson, you're pretty happy, aren't you? Of how it's going so far against his former county. As again, he runs in, bowls, driven this time. Sort of more of the outside splice of the bat, and it will run away for four. A welcome boundary for Ben Compton, which adds four more welcome runs to the Kent total.
A lovely bit of applause from all around the ground as well. We're now probably up to our biggest attendance that we've seen so far today. Lots of people have come in during this first innings. The space outside the academy building where the pop-up club shop is very well attended. The hospitality areas inside the academy building are quite full as well. There's lots of people getting coffees and burgers over in the corner.
Will be a change of bowling here from the Beckenham end. I believe it will be Will Rhodes.
So Rhodes has rested after he limped a little bit.
Yeah.
He's come on to bowl from the Beckenham end then. Here he comes then. Right arm seam of Will Rhodes, defended first up by Ekant Singh. There'll be no run.
Yeah, couldn't quite get that sort of release shot off there, was it, to split the field?
Coughlin's just in front of us talking to the Durham physios. He looks a very hot man. Looks like he's bowled quite a lot, which he has. As Rhodes comes in again then, bowls Fuller to Akant Singh, and yet another save.
Yeah, we've said, haven't we, that the Durham fielders seem to be more goalkeeper approach rather than your traditional cricket fielding approach, but it has been effective.
Yeah, they're not letting anything go underneath them, are they? Because they're getting their arms right down on the ground. Rhodes comes in again to Akant Singh, and Akant's just playing uppishly, and it just bounces just before mid-off.
Yeah, you think, wouldn't you, that again this positive play that Singh is trying to introduce here, if you're Durham, you kind of feel an opportunity might be coming, if it could be a catch or staying sharp here for their next wicket.
Yeah, Durham won't mind this at all from Akant Singh. It's up to Akant to play those strokes well. As he flashes at that one, he'll get a big edge, but it'll go down to third. Along the ground, and he'll get one.
Yeah, you sort of think now where Ben Compton's going to go with this. Is he going to try and be the one to be there at the end, or is he going to try and play some shots?
Yeah, we're into the 34th over, so there might have to be an acceleration there fairly soon from Compton and Singh in the middle. Rhodes comes in again to the left-handed Ben Compton.
Oh, that is
Who
well
bowls him.
bowled.
That's a lovely, very full delivery, and it's taken out a stump out the ground. Compton has to go.
And I think as well, from a Kent perspective, you're not going to want to be seeing Ben Compton walk back to the dressing room. But if you're in that Durham camp, the person you wanted to see walk back, obviously had his half century, departs at 55, and now it's two sort of, I'm not going to say new bats because Akant Singh has seen the ball okay, but two more maybe the inexperience of Singh as he's grabbing as a player.
Yeah, Jack Leaning just coming down the stairs now, so Jack Leaning is next in. We've all seen him score runs in a one-day shirt. He has Metro Bank one-day cup centuries to his name. Ben Compton takes in the applause from the crowd here as he walks off, and he has scored almost half of Kent's runs in this innings, so it'll be up to someone else now to get the rest of those runs that Kent will hope to have to defend a score with.
Yeah, I think again though, isn't it? It's the experience of Jack Leaning as he strides out to the crease, and again, we all know what he can do. Scored big runs for Kent. I think he'll be hoping to do that again today for the last remaining 16.1 overs of today's play.
Yes, you're listening to the Kent Cricket live stream, proudly sponsored by Cluberly. Do apologise for the jumpiness of the video feed, but we will be commentating on this as if we were on the radio, so hopefully you don't miss much of the action here. My name's Liam, I'm here with Kent wicket-keeper Molly Davis, and we were all here yesterday to see Kent women against Northamptonshire Steelbacks women. We've got Kent Spitfires against Durham here today at Beckenham, and next weekend Kent women are taking on Glamorgan on Saturday, and Kent Spitfires welcome Lancashire to Beckenham on Sunday.
Yeah, that'll be big games next weekend.
Yeah, under 14s tickets are £1. You can get your tickets today at tickets.kentcricket.co.uk. If you're trying to watch the live stream today and slightly frustrated by it, why don't you head down to Beckenham next weekend, and there's nothing beats watching it live. As Jack Leaning is off the mark, first ball, cuts it away and he'll get a run.
Obviously as well, Jack Leaning finding himself obviously in sort of the middle order, just before the tail now, I'd say. So a new position for him this year, which I'm sure he'll take up and have that, I'd say, seniority here to anchor the innings towards the back end and work with the bowlers.
Yeah, obviously Jack Leaning is able to bat pretty much anywhere in the order. He's slightly lower down at the moment. He's not been in the championship side, so it's a good opportunity for him to get some runs back in the Kent shirt again. Obviously Jack Leaning, one of the senior players in the dressing room here. He's capped player at the club, so he knows all about scoring runs when they're needed the most. We've seen him hit runs in T20s that have won us games, and hopefully he'll be the one to help Akant Singh get us up to a higher total. Yeah,
I think this could actually work in Kent's favour here, having the the youth of Ekanching with the experience of Jack leaning towards the back end of this innings. And if you are Durham, you are thinking one more wicket here and we are in a very prime position. In again, short ball goes sailing past Jack leaning over his head. And to Ollie Robinson. As the use is continuing, obviously we've mentioned earlier that we've seen that short ball that's, you know, fast and dangerous, if you like. And he's produced that again. Again, these figures, not a wicket to his name yet, but I think he's bowled brilliantly.
Yeah, all the Durham bowlers have bowled really well. There's only been a couple of loose ones.
Again, that one's a bit fuller as Jack Leaning presses that into the offside. It'll beat the fielder, so they get a single.
We did at the top of the programme say how much of a road it is at Beckenham here, but just looking back at scorecards from last year, there was a match where Hampshire were all out for 168 against Kent. Kent won that one by 4 wickets.
It'll be the same for obviously the Kent bowlers though, so I'm sure a few of them now are sitting watching on and hoping to get out there. But as Yusuf comes back in, again, LBW shout. Umpire's not interested. May have been going down there, but Ekanching has taken a big swing to try and hit that into the stand.
You know, that may as well has been Ekanching's debut here at Beckenham last year. Just double check.
That full circle, that isn't it?
Ah, it was his home debut.
Okay. As Yusuf comes trundling back in. Again, full and straight. That's just been defending away from Singh. So now this position, okay, putting the question back to you. Lost the wicket of Ben Compton, 5 down. How are you playing the rest of this innings?
I think you've got to work in little milestones now, haven't you? Get up to 130, get up to 150, and try and get as close to that 200 run mark from this position as you can.
It's sort of trying to play risk-free cricket and yeah, trying to get as many as you can, but not losing many wickets. Short ball pulled, missed. It will be on a leg side, so it's a wide ball. Again, not a bad short ball, but just carried sort of too far down, didn't it? As Ollie Robinson takes that down the leg side.
Watched very well by Ekanching all the way across. He spun round very nicely.
Bit of a gymnastics there. But yeah, I think it's risky cricket, but high reward in this sense. As Yusuf comes in again to Singh, uses his feet, tries to hit him over mid-on, doesn't quite time it, so it is just hit straight to mid-wicket, and there's no run there.
That was a very quick delivery again.
Yeah. I like the thought process here. You can't see on your screens, but mid-on and mid-wicket are up in the rings. There's no one out on the boundary, so it's a safer shot. But you just kind of think that you need to find your release shot here. As Yusuf is bowling quite well. And Dylan bowls again. This time, big shout for LBW. Umpire's not interested. Might have been a bit of bat potentially. If not, it was very much going down leg. As he tries that same shot again over mid-on. But that is the end of the cut over. So Kent are 123. So 1, 2, 3 for 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There you go.
Silver linings.
Yeah.
So Rhodes is going to continue here from the Beckenham end. Jack Leaning will take strike. I'm sure him and Ollie Robinson will have said hello earlier on, former teammates.
So, interesting tactic. Robinson up to the stumps.
So in comes Rhodes then. Leaning defends that. Taking in the covers, there'll be no run.
What do you think Kent will take from this point in terms of runs?
Good question. I mean, we saw yesterday that Kent put 164, 163 on the board, and that wasn't enough. So need to factor in the fact that the sun's been on it again today. So I think, as it stands, it'll be a below par score, and Kent will have to bowl really well to get a positive result out of this one.
And the positives are when you have Mikey Cohen making his debut, obviously down at Sussex, and obviously had a good day out, didn't he?
Yeah, it's his home debut today, Mikey Cohen, left arm quick.
So that'll be, I'm sure he'll be very excited to get out here today.
Rhodes comes in again then, over the wicket to Leaning. He cuts that again. They thought about a run there, as a slight misfield, but they didn't go for it in the end, no run.
Yeah, you kind of feel that the bowling attack are probably going to be up for this, as obviously you always would be. And the experience of someone like Matt Parkinson as well, big quad. He is somebody that I'd like to describe that can just make something happen, probably out of nothing.
So Rhodes in again then to Jack Leaning, comes in past the umpire, bowls good length there, and Leaning just defends that a winner run. Yeah, spin from the other end mainly, so maybe Matt Parkinson and Mo Risley can get their leg spin going from that end. And we've seen that pace is doing really well, so Mikey Cohen, our quick, who can play for France or Algeria through descent in international cricket. So wouldn't that be great? Rhodes comes in again, bowls. Jack Leaning drives that. There'll be a fielder at mid-off, no run.
Sort of playing devil's advocate here then. This over here, there's one ball to go, and there's not a run scored off of it so far. Is it criminal to have a maiden over this far into your innings as a team?
I think it's not for want of trying, is it? It's just these Durham bowlers have bowled exceedingly well. They've not really given Kent anything as a gimme. Rhodes comes in again, Jack Leaning cuts away.
Wow.
Yet another fantastic goalkeeping stop
That's phenomenal.
from Borthwick. He's in contention for the Lev Yashin Award for me now, with the amount of goalkeeping saves he's made today. That's been at least 5 whilst I've been on commentary.
He's been brilliant, isn't he? I think Durham have really given a display of what a standard of fielding is.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously, we're trying to describe it as best we can, because there's something that you can't see off camera, but I think anyone here today watching was just, they can't fault Durham for their efforts. Hold yourself to a higher count, and I think you generally get rewards for that.
I think there are times when you can say maybe we've not played as well as you can, but sometimes you just have to say well played to the opposition.
And again, East was in short ball. Singh did not get hold of that. I think it's simplifying cricket, isn't it? Which is just bowl to your field, bowl to the stumps, keep it simple. And Durham have done that pretty well, and the fielders have backed up their bowling unit, which is obviously very, very crucial. You just don't want to get outplayed in the field, do you? You don't want the opposition to outfield you in that discipline, because that usually is a tipping point of the game. As Yusuf comes in to Singh, again a bit back of a length, but he's worked it off the hip. They're running hard, they're going to want 2. Fielder releases the ball, but the throw's a bit wide, so they will get 2.
Kent Singh's like an Olympic sprinter then, wasn't he?
I think as Jack Leaning set off, I think he shouted 2, so I think Singh had no choice but to come back, to be honest. But there's 2 more to the total. I think this over could be quite big after the maiden that Will Rhodes has just bowled. Especially now you have 13.4 overs left in the Kent innings. And again, Yusuf then comes back in here as that all whistles past the outside edge of Ekhanch Singh into Robinson's gloves. But more importantly, it's a dot ball for Durham.
So, we gave out some facts about Ekhanch Singh when Nick was on with me in commentary. It's time for some facts about Jack Leaning.
Okay.
Favourite film is Step Brothers with Will Ferrell. Hobby interest outside of cricket is golf, which I'm sure you can chat to him about.
Yep.
Big Sheffield United fan, of course. His dad Andy used to play in goal in football.
Back in again, this time went for the legs of Singh straight to mid-wicket. I'm sure Jack Leaning plays a much higher level of golf than me. If I can go out and not lose too many balls, it's always a good shout. So I think Jack's probably measure of success is slightly different to mine.
Yeah, I think Jack's a good judge of character as well, because his favourite sports person is Darren Stevens.
Obviously former teammate as well. So if your hero's your friend, then you're doing something right, aren't you? As Yusuf again starts his run into the city end to sing. Shorter, pulled this time, will find the gap as the Durham fielders make chase out there. It's a long old boundary. And it will be pulled back in, so it will just be the 3 in the end.
Again, very good fielding from Durham on the rope.
That was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, that fielder's come all the way across from mid-on. And he's cut it off right on the boundary. Someone else is coming to help back it up. Very good discipline.
Yeah, very good discipline. I'm sure I've worked hard and spoken about quite a lot. Yusuf back in. Again, full, almost a Yorker there. Leaning's done well to dig it out. End of the over. 128 for 5. Tunes on here at Beckenham.
Yeah, whilst you were away we had Wii Sports. We had Coconut Mall.
I did hear the Wii Sports theme tune echo around the ground. It's one of them tunes, isn't it, that everyone goes, oh, I recognise that. Where's it from? And then a flashback of, I think it'll be my childhood, comes back in with the Nintendo Wii. Always enjoyed, obviously. The bowling on that was quite fun, and the tennis.
Yeah, making childhood memories, obviously. Kids' tickets are £1 for the Metro Bank One Day Cup at home. Rhodes starts a new over from the Beckenham end. Singh plays that into the onside. There's a good running here from Jack Lee and their catching. They're going to have to do this from now on. They're going to have to try and get a run every ball at least.
Do you have Wii Sports?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah. Remember the balance board, Wii Fitness?
Oh, that was top tier entertainment as a child. Making your little Wii characters, wasn't it, and stuff.
Yeah.
That was fun. What was your favourite game then?
I'm trying to think. I can only remember bowling. That's terrible. Rhodes comes in again to Leaning. It's gone through him. It's given us a wide. It's gone down the leg side. Good gloves work from Ollie Robinson. Wii Golf I was quite good at.
Oh, I enjoyed Wii Golf.
Yeah.
There was like the rogue mini training games. You had baseball, tennis, boxing.
Yes, it's all coming back to me now.
You had all of them, and then you had like the training games to get better at them.
Yeah.
So like I'd had to do the tennis game and just hit the ball up against the wall for hours. It's great.
Rhodes comes in again from the Beckenham end, past the umpire, bowls. Leaning cuts it away. It goes past Gordon Banks / Scott Borthwick now, and he'll find the rope. 4 more to Kent's total. Maybe we should bring it back for some Kent women content.
I think I'd just buy one from my house.
You and the squad can get going. As Rhodes comes into Leaning again. That's defended.
And there was the one where you have to balance on the board and header the ball.
Yep.
Yeah. Might just buy one. I think I've sold myself on it again to have another one.
If you've got room at home, Molly, go for it.
I'm sure I can make room for a Wii Fit board.
Little Rhodes then. Halfway through this over. Comes in past the umpire, bowls, Leaning. Cuts that away. They'll get a single here. Dissects the 2 fielders, but there is someone on the rope. So, would that be part of your training regime? Obviously, Kent women don't train as much as the.
But I think Durham are just focused and in their own heads now to try and get these last few wickets. Chris in his feet mid to back, so it is just punt the wielder. But then he out on green so that's saying.
I think that's all good news, isn't it?
I think I think we spoke earlier about the appealing and theatrics, and maybe the crowd enjoy it that much they want to get involved.
Looks like camera's back up. Pull again if you lost it. Audio describing this as if we were video, so hopefully you don't miss too much of the action. And Rhodes is going to start a new over from the Beckenham end. Comes into a who hits out. It's gone for a bit of attacking intent. Now on T or 30 now. He's come in. Has stroke maker. They won't get too well fielded again by Emilio Gay.
Obviously, Killeen has been bowled out, so he's bowled his 10.
Yeah, and what a 10 they were as well.
Yeah. I mean, 3 for 15, I'd take that.
Absolutely. So Kent are up to 138 for 5 here. Leaning hits that away into the offside. He'll get 1 for it.
That was timed well, found the gap. I think Kent aren't going to mind this too much. Just trying to rotate the strike here. If these two can stay in here and try and see this out. Maybe that 170 we were talking about, if they do that. But Durham will want to stop that.
It'll be high and probably outside the line. Kent up. Being on 35 from 38, so a bit of intent there from Ekant Singh.
Yeah, indeed. I'm sure we can have a plan for these back overs.
So Singh hits that well from Rhodes. They'll go for 2. Coughlin almost struggled a bit to get up there. He's bowled a lot today. He's been out in the field. They'll get 2.
They will indeed. A signal from, I think, Singh to the dressing room. So that might be a change of gloves job at the end of the over.
Yeah, Jack Lean is just waving away. Rhodes comes in again then to Ekant Singh. Goes past the outside edge into the gloves of Ollie Robinson.
That is well bowled.
That's very well bowled. Doesn't affect the score, however. At the end of the over, Ekant Singh says he wants a drink. Quite clearly, I think we all know what Ekant Singh, and we will try and get the score over by
Yeah, Ekant
10
Singh.
overs to go.
Yeah, Ekant Singh sitting on 37. Jack Lean sitting on 11. And it's, as Liam has just said, it's the last 10. So it's going to be a big last 10 here.
Well, we've had songs for the kids. We've just had an absolute throwback of a cricket song from the 2000s. And I'll see if we can pick it up on the mic. That brings it all back, doesn't it? Mambo number 5. Used to precede cricket coverage on terrestrial TV.
It did.
Do you remember that?
Oh, the song. I think you're showing my age now. You could be showing your age by your comments, to be honest.
Absolutely. I'm sure I won't be the only one that remembers it.
What year was it released, though? That's the question.
What year was it released?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 2001.
I think you're wrong.
Oh.
Well, I can tell you exactly what year it is after Dressel continues.
Yeah, the score isn't 138 for 5. We're trying to get that fixed.
As he is in. Again, worked off the hip over leaning. Just be the one, good bit of fielding in the end. We'll just keep you up to date with the scores as best we can.
150 up for Kent.
Welcomed by the crowd. So I'm just waiting for the updates to roll in.
Ekant Singh has just hit that so high up into the air, and it looked like it was going to clear the main stand, but it didn't. It dipped quite at the last second. Still goes for 6. And Kent are motoring here when they need to.
They do indeed. It's lovely shot, wasn't it? He's shown that intent all the way, actually. Again, up in the air this time. Splice of the bat. Will fall safe as deep cover comes in to do the work, and they will get 2. You can just see last 10 overs now. Ekant Singh has come in to try and prove a point, I think. I think that's been something that he has wanted to do. As Dressel comes back in. Again, high up in the air this time. It's gone a long way up. The mid-on fielder comes in to catch. And he takes the catch as he turns to the crowd to acknowledge them. And that's the wicket of Ekant Singh.
Ekant has to go. And the fielder and all of his friends in the main stand made a lot of noise after that catch was taken. So Ekant Singh departs. He's played a very good innings here.
He has.
We believe he's out for 44 from 43. Kent now 6 down. Drissel gets a wicket.
I believe he was out for 44. Now the new batter is going to be... Who is it, Liam?
It's the Rizzler. Mo Rizvi. Home debut. Comes out to warm applause around his new supporters. Graduate of the South Asian Cricket Academy, Mo Rizvi. Made his debut at Arundel in the first match of the One Day Cup. Wearing number 62 on his back. Joins Jack Leaning.
Big role for him to play here, isn't it? At the back of the innings with Jack Leaning to close his innings out and try and get Kent to a total they can feel, I'm going to say happy with, but comfortable with.
Yeah, we've seen him hit clutch innings already this year for Kent's second 11. They were 9 down, needing 2 to win. He was on 96 not out, so he proceeded to hit a cover drive to get his ton and the win for Kent. Mikey Cohen at the other end. It's quite a funny clip where he just starts nodding as soon as he hits it.
So the stage is set almost, isn't it?
Yeah, we've bigged it up quite a bit here, so hopefully Mo plays this one very nicely as Drissel comes in. Over to you, Molly.
Again, that one just worked off the legs. It will just be the single out to the square leg. Yeah, he was one of the first ones out the nets today, actually, to have a hit. Here nice and early. We were up here setting up. He was the first one out there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's an extremely hard worker, and Simon Cook's comments when he signed says that he works extremely hard to where he's got to, and he fully deserves this opportunity for Kent in the One Day Cup.
As Jack Leaning just gets himself set again after that little break, and Drissel comes back in. Reversed, gets it, fine.
It's gone very fine.
As I think it will be Coughlin to come in
He's
to do the work.
He's puffing.
Diving
Fair
effort,
play.
brings it back in. I know
But
he
it's hit the
acknowledges. Yeah, he acknowledges the 4. Big effort there from your bowler that's probably bowled a lot of overs today. He looks like a man that's broken in body currently. But that's 4 more to Kent's total, 4 more to Jack Leaning's total, and everything helps.
163 for 6 at the end of the over, 9 left. Apologies again for the scorecard not updating on the live stream. We're trying to get that fixed as well as the glitchy pictures, but we will be talking you through every delivery on the stream.
I can just confirm that your guess of 2001 was wrong for Mambo number 5.
It's a shame, isn't it?
1999.
1999. What a year.
I mean, I have to take my word for it.
Oh dear. So Rhodes comes in again then from the Beckenham end to Mo Rizvi. Cuts that away nicely. He'll get 1 for it.
I mean, it's a good opportunity for Mo Rizvi here to again come in, state his sort of claim for his spot. Obviously, a couple of changes back in the squad. His second game here for Kent, home debut. What an opportunity! That's I think that's the big takeaway, isn't it?
Yeah, Kent Spitfires 164 for 6. Leaning steps away, then steps back, tries to outfox Rhodes. He'll get 1 for it.
Again, the fielder's just come down here, scooped it out with one hand, stood on his knees, and threw it back in, having a chuckle as I feel a few of his teammates have said it's an interesting way to have picked that up and threw it in. But effective. As again he comes running into bowl to Rizvi. Just drops his hands on that to try and guide it, but didn't quite get it past backward point. So sort of middle to back end of the game.
There we are, the score's back now. Apologies for that on the stream. It's now updated. 165 for 6, Kent. Rhodes comes in again to Mo Rizvi. High elbow. Nice little dainty drive. Down to mid on, he'll get 1.
Yeah, I think it's important what you were saying about... sorry, there's some noise in the media tent here. Yeah, as Mo Rizvi was obviously out here earlier today, netting early doors. Mark Decker throwing balls to him for quite a while actually. So it's good to see them good habits that are being done by all your Kent players.
Rose comes in again then to Jack Leaning this time, who cuts it away. They'll get at least one here. They're going to look for two. They're going for two. Good running from Jack Leaning and Mo Rizvi. They'll get two more.
I think we mentioned it earlier as well that for you Kent fans that Grant Stewart was here again this morning doing some work during warm-ups. So the road to recovery be going in the right direction for Grant.
The Kent batters have got two. Up to 170.
End of the over. So last, did we say it was 8 overs remaining?
Yeah, 8 overs remaining. 170 for 6. Got to get over 200 here, haven't you?
I think you have to be thinking 200 is the minimum almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure Ollie Robinson again is going to be thinking about how he's looking to close the innings out. One wicket here will probably tip it into Durham's favour. But if these two Kent batters can keep batting, that's what the fans want to be seeing. As Drissal's back in again this time, Rizvi just turns that into the leg side, but it will be no run.
Yeah, Driscoll's bowled well from this end.
And Borthwick does the work. And again, he's in, he bowls. It's reversed high up in the air, but it has gone flying over the fielder, and it will go for 4.
Mo Rizvi, absolutely lovely on his home debut. Nice little reverse over the fielder.
It's that bit of flair you were talking about, wasn't it?
Yeah. Vindicated. No commentator's curse here as Mo Rizvi hits out. And I think runs, he's looking over at the scoreboard. I think he wants a few more runs next to his name.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. But yeah, no commentator curse here. I learnt my lesson yesterday. I think I cursed a couple of the team.
Oh, Megan Belt though.
Oh.
Megan Belt was on commentary for quite a while and there was no wickets for Kent while she was on. As soon as she left, they took about 6 for 12 runs.
In again this time, worked into the leg side. Will get a quick single. So he's doing his job here. Oh, there's a shy there at Rizvi's end, but was not to be. Yeah, I think I'm start a petition to ban Megan Belt from the commentary box on the reasonings of the curse worked the other way, where her team didn't do anything while she was on comms. And again, Dressel comes back in, uses his feet leaning, doesn't quite get it, won't be cut off, so it will just be the single out to long on.
Borthwick is human. I think that's the first thing that's got past him all day.
Yeah. He's probably saved his team about 30 runs, which is a good fool if you can have it. Again, as he continues, a short pulled away, and it will be a couple of bounces and then picked up by the boundary fielder, and it will just be the couple in the end. Again, who's over? Kent's over currently?
At the moment, yeah, I think you need another boundary to really put the momentum slightly back towards Kent, but make no mistakes here, Durham are on top.
Again, Dressel comes back in this time. Again, try to be guided, quick single in the ring, could be trouble, or direct hit, and I think Rizvi was in trouble, but not to be, so he makes his ground. That is the end of the over. And that could have been a risky run, couldn't it?
Yeah, Kent up to 179 for 6. That was a risky run, but runs are very much needed at this point with 7 overs left. You're listening to the Kent Cricket live stream, proudly sponsored by Cluberly. My name's Liam, I'm here with Kent women wicketkeeper Molly Davis. We do apologise for the glitchiness of the pictures today. Hopefully you're listening in. We will describe it as we were on the radio, so you're not missing any of the action. Now, alongside myself and Molly today, we'll have Nick Dillham on the mic. We'll have Fred Atkins on the mic, maybe a couple of guests if we can source them in the second innings. But for now, it's Durham that are on top, and I think Kent will desperately need to score some more runs, get over that 200 mark with some balls to spare, and see where they can take it from there.
Well, it will be Will Rhodes to continue here from the Beckenham end, which I think is a good shout. He's done figures for 1 for 24.
Yeah, he came on quite late as well as he comes in. Or if he cuts away, there'll be no run. Yeah, he came on late, so his figures might not look as good as some of the other bowlers, but he's done a job when Kent have looked to accelerate. He's bowled really well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree. And obviously got a ton, didn't he, as well? Last week.
Yeah.
Against Somerset.
And he comes again then. Past the umpire, bowls to Mo Rizvi, who scoops it over Ollie Robinson. And Mo Rizvi gets another boundary, and that is a sumptuous shot from Mo Rizvi. He's hit 2 now that have been very inventive, and they've both found the boundary rope. 4 more to Kent. Kent move on to 183 for 6 in the 44th over. We want to see more of that though, don't we?
You do? I think the crowd are going to be enjoying it as much as a few people in and around here.
So what happens next then as Rhodes comes in again? He bowls back of the length and Rizvi cuts. It's not Borthwick this time because he's down here. It's Drissel. Drissel becomes the goalkeeper and tips it round the post for the fielder behind him, Luke Robinson, to save the boundary, and they'll only get 1 run for it.
Again, good bit of work there.
Yeah, they've been outstanding in the field, Durham.
Can't fault them at all in that regard. But leaning, looking around now, a couple of fielders come back into the circle, mid-off drops back.
Rhodes comes in again then, 4th delivery of the over. To Leaning, who cuts this way and he'll get a single.
I don't think Durham are going to mind the ones.
No.
I think they'll happily let them run 6 singles in the over.
Yeah, the run rate's only just gone up to 4, so singles is fine for them. I think it'll be the boundaries that they don't want to leak. There are now more fielders on the rope. They're just moving back a couple as well. So the onside for Rizvi is very open at the minute, and it will come off.
They might push for 2 here.
Potentially off his pads. No shout for LBW there. No signal. That's off his bat. So Leaning takes the strike.
Yeah, Rizvi's on 17. Going to catch Jack Leaning up soon.
Yeah, 17 off 13.
Yeah.
Good cameo from Rizvi. Rhodes comes in again to Jack Leaning. Cuts that way, he'll get another single. I think Leaning's realised that Rizvi will be the one to add the flair at the moment, so very good cricket from Jack Leaning as they get to the end of the over. And Kent are 187 for 6 after 44, 6 overs left. If you add 60 onto the score, it's still not good for Beckenham, we would say here as Molly shakes her head.
Yeah, I think, as you said, for most of the day, it's probably slightly below par, but both teams have to bat on it, so
Absolutely.
We can't judge too much until Durham come out here and with bat in hand.
Yeah, Mikey Cohen, who took 4 wickets on debut at Arundel, he might be looking forward to bowling on this, having seen how well that actual raw pace has done for other bowlers. Yeah, Mitch Killeen getting lots of wickets.
And it will be a change. Robinson is going to be bowling from the city end as he comes steaming in to Jack Leaning. Driven hard, but will get a single. I was going to say about to be cut off, but there's a slight misfield at short cover, which allows them to sneak through for 1.
Ollie Watson throws it up to Emilio Gay, who in turn throws it back towards the bowler's direction. And Jack Leaning comes down to have a little chat with Mo Rizvi.
Yeah, you kind of feel what's Rizvi going to do here. That's the impression I get.
Yes.
Bowls this time, and he's taken his middle stump out of the ground. It has gone flying, and I've just been pointed at from Liam Knight to suggest that was my doing. So I do apologise to any Kent fan there that they feel that was me. But he departs for quite a swift 17, to be fair.
Yeah, he's looked bright in his short innings, and I think there'll be lots more to come from Mo Rizvi, who's earned his place in our One Day Cup squad. So he'll be back here next week at Beckenham as Kent take on Lancashire.
Yeah. I think he shouldn't be too disappointed with that effort. He's added a little bit of flair, contributed with the 17 with Jack leaning as well. So this does bring out Fred
Klassen with his orange bat grip, the Netherlands international. He's got orange bat stickers as well now.
Look at that.
And when he fields as well, he's got orange sunglasses, so he's fully branded up as Fred Klassen.
I mean, I can appreciate the colour orange as well. I think it's bright, it's nice.
Very patriotic Dutchman is Fred Klassen. Born in Haywards Heath, grew up in South Africa and Australia. But of course, Netherlands international through his family, Fred Klassen.
You bring the stats, don't you? The fun facts. As
I think when you've been in my role for as long as you have, you just soak these things up fully.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. So Fred Klassen has a look at the wicket. He's next in. Jack Leaning just towels off his face on this hot day here at Beckenham. And I think it's Ollie Curtis bringing out the drinks, and I think those are Fred Klassen's orange sunglasses that he's borrowed.
That's brilliant, that. So Klassen is going to face his first ball here as Robinson starts his longish run from the city end. In he goes, Klassen
Good
leave.
leave.
He leaves that. That's a strong leave.
So we saw in the Vitality Blast at Lords, Fred Klassen actually got the nutmeg out, didn't he? And that's a brunt nutmeg. He got 4 for it.
I enjoy that, I enjoy. But seeing what he can contribute here for his team. As Robinson in. Bowls, has a waft at that one, misses it. But it goes straight through to Ollie Robinson with the gloves.
So Klassen then. People want to get some runs.
Yeah, it wants to obviously put some helpful end runs on for his team here. Obviously, in after is Mikey, Matt Parkinson, then Mikey Cohen. As Robinson's back in, bowls, defended away, goes straight to cover. Again, Durham aren't going to mind it, are they?
No, they're building up pressure again nicely on the new batter.
Yeah, they're going alright here. And I think here, like I said, singles aren't really going to hurt Durham, so they're going to be quite keen to keep it that way. Obviously, wickets are ideal, but that takes dots. And that's just been defended again into cover for no run. End of the over. Kent are 188 for 7.
That was probably a good choice at the end of the over, just to give Jack Leaning the strike. It was either going to be a boundary or a dot, and I think Fred Klassen wants to keep his wicket intact. With 5 overs left.
Yeah, I think that's the state of play, isn't it? I think Kent are going to obviously want to bat the 5 overs, but not bat it recklessly where they find themselves all out at the end of this one, or not adding much more to the total.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's all down to Jack Leaning plus AN other now.
Yeah.
Jack will need to take the game by the scruff of its neck and get some more runs. He'll be facing up against Rhodes, who starts a new over from the Beckenham end, comes in, bowls fuller to Jack Leaning and doesn't beat the field. I think they just need to try and hit out.
And the risk probably is, isn't it, that Leaning's thinking he hits the one out here to deep cover, field then comes up and they're going to press Klassen, which you understand, but yeah, you feel now a bit of faith maybe in your number 9.
Yeah, Rose comes into Leaning, changes this into the onside, they will only get 1. We did see, of course, back in 2022, picks him out.
So you like to think it probably will be Matt Parkinson that will
picks him out.
So You'd like to think it probably will be Matt Parkinson that will wander out to the crease now, I assume. Or it'll be Mikey now, I assume. Or it'll be Mikey Cohen to come out and bat, but Matt Parkinson. You feel Matt the ball, but can do a job with the bat as well.
Yeah, he's got experience in big tournaments. Played well in the CPL. And he has worked hard. On his batting. I think when we played Lancashire and been here a few years last year, I think he was surprised that he was 8th in our order because he worked batting a few more runs alongside Jack Leaning, who have been ferries in Lancashire. Now they are together again.
Yeah, so if they join Alison more runs, they can go back the overs.
Comes round to Parkinson. Thickish edges that away. If that could have been a run.
I think it's going to just be giving the strike to Jack to try and see if he can work his magic. We all know he can do.
Just having a chat. Bowl trio of Killeen and Road as well. Two Matt Parkinson got legs and gets a strike.
Indeed. Jack now. Jack, and you're thinking
1 or 3.
Yeah. I'm surprised here because I've just let him have one. All the Durham fielders have scattered. So there we go.
Throw it again then. Higher. Leaning will oblige with a nicely played single. The single ends there are 1-1 with those. How do you sum up, Molly?
I think as positive take it from Kent, Ben Connor, one day shirt, runs, and lungs and showing Peacock going away from Durham. Oldham Fielders, it's one day shirt, runs, and lungs and showing Peacock going away from Durham. Oldham Fielders exceptionally well. Play the plan. Asked questions of Kent, they aren't well, but I said there's 2 sets again. Robin is in, off field 1 for 2. It's comfortable in the air, meant Durham. I think Durham will be very happy with the work in the field. I think they'll be able to sleep well. In again, bowls. Didn't quite get up him to hit him with his side pad. So yeah, no run. Yeah, like I said, I think taking out lost 2 wickets where it was in a different position. So 200, I think Kent will in this position. Robinson again, does his run. Hard to do run out. Oh, direct hit that very and then getting good building from Durham. Brisk on the ring. That's a little laugh over Robinson. I think that today. Yeah, it's tough to the. You think now the 1 is preferable for Matt Parkinson. As again, Robinson is in. Short ball. I've wided that. I was quick out there, 2 hands out, wide ball. The Parkinson still has not one. Yeah, Parkinson down is not out. Very well. Robinson running again. That's what you've got to do now, haven't you, to try and get Jack Leaning to face as many of these last balls as possible. So Leaning just getting himself sorted to face up here. Robinson trundles back in, bowls. That'll be a wide ball.
I'd like to think so.
Not sure what happened there.
Might come out the hand wrong.
Yeah, maybe an attempt to third ball that hasn't quite worked. But again, they have to re-bowl that one. But yeah, he's keeping Leaning on his toes here, isn't it?
Yeah. And Robinson is steaming in again from the city end, comes in. Oh, this fella to Jack Leaning who plays this into the onside. It'll be mopped up, but they will get 2 for it. That's well run. Applause from the Kent crowd. They get 2 more. Robinson again for what will hopefully be the last ball of his over, in his opinion. Comes in, bowls wide-ish again. It's given. Yeah. So we'll have to bowl it again. Ironic cheers from the crowd. because it does bring up the Kent 200.
It does, welcomed by the fans and spectators today. And I'm sure the dressing room are going to feel a bit better that there's 200 up on the board. Obviously not what they wanted, but it's still 200 runs to defend. As Robinson comes back into leaning. This one whipped off his legs out to mid-wicket, and he'll just take the one, as it should be the end of the over, and he steals the strike. So, there is the end of the over. And that means is that 3 overs left there?
Yep, 47 gone, 3 overs left. Kent Spitfires are 201 for 8.
So, now you would assume that it's going to be, I would say Rhodes, but I don't think it is it? It's going to be...
There's a bit of a conflab in the middle.
There is indeed. But it could be a change of bowling. We'll wait and see.
Cody Youssef comes on again then.
Other end.
Yeah, he swapped ends.
He has, hasn't he? Bowled well from the other end, but obviously I think Robinson's obviously managing his bowlers, isn't he?
Yeah, he's done very well.
He's none for 31, but as we've said, I don't think his figures really represent how well he's actually bowled.
Yeah, he's genuinely quick as well, isn't he? So he's a good bowler to have up your sleeve at the death.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yusuf comes in then. Comes in and bowls. Slightly shorter Jack Leaning plays that.
They're going to push.
They are going to push. They decide against it, so Matt Pugson will have to face the next delivery. 202 for 8 in the 48th over.
Yeah, indeed.
Another little chat. Would you use that as a tactic when you're in the field? Have a little chat, get it in the batter's head a little bit?
I think so. I think you keep them guessing, not know what's coming next.
Yeah, absolutely, as Yusuf comes in again then. Parkinson sort of guides that down to third, and there is a fielder there, so they'll get one.
Matt can probably knows what.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's played enough cricket to know that might be the tactic. Take nothing away from what he can do, but it always seems to be deployed, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I think Yusuf has shown his skill with the ball.
I agree, and with his pace, the short ball's not a bad option.
Yeah, so here he comes in again. Comes in past the umpire. That is short to Jack Leaning, and he pulls that away, and that has raced away to the boundary. That's a lovely looking pull shot from Jack Leaning.
Probably not the option to Jack Leaning, as he's set now, isn't he? I mean, he has faced 37 balls, he's 38.
He's almost nonchalantly biffed that away, as almost to say, don't bowl there. 4 more to the Kent total.
Again, helping the cause here for Kent to get over 200 and keep adding and keep mounting the runs up.
Yeah, they're up to 207 for 8 then in the 48th over. Yusuf comes in again from the Beckenham end. Leaning steps away, then steps again. He hit that over there, over the fielder. He'll get 4 more. Well, that was an exciting passage of play. Jack Leaning does like to do that, doesn't he? That little half step to the leg side and then back where he was. And then he's able to hit out because he thinks the bowler might follow him backwards and might go into his striking arc a little bit easier. Very well played, Jack Leaning.
Yeah, it's a good option for Jack, isn't it? Mid-off up, safe shot. So, yeah, I would agree. And obviously now taking the attack to the Durham bowlers for the last few overs of the game.
Yeah, he's on to 42 or 38 as Yusuf comes in again, bowls. That's a quick one again. Jack Leaning drives that. They'll get one. Long off does the fielding. So 1 more to Jack Leaning, who moves on to 43 from 39. Spitfires are 2-1-2 for 8. With 1 ball left of the 48th over.
It's going to be a funny situation at the end of this innings, isn't it? I feel that both sides aren't going to be too unhappy. Obviously, from the beginning of the game, Durham restricting Kent to be under 250 in the end, won't it? They'll be happy, and from a Kent perspective, to get up to that score from where they were. So
yeah, they've recovered slightly, haven't they? But you have to hand it to Durham. They play really well. Yusuf comes in for the final ball of his over to Matt Pugson. He almost chops it on there. He's defended that and it's gone squirted behind him, but it hasn't hit the stumps, so he will give strike to Jack Leaning for the start of the next over. Kent Spitfires are 2-1-2 for 8 after 48, and I think these next 2 overs could be quite entertaining.
I think you're right. I think Jack Leaning's going to try and take the game by his own accord here, which will be very exciting to see how this next 12 balls play out.
Looks like Robinson will continue.
Yeah, you feel that he's going to just finish up, don't you?
Oh my lord, it's the GoldenEye theme tune. The N64 classic GoldenEye theme is currently playing outside at the county ground Beckenham.
It's all going on.
We are playing these slightly different music choices because it is the Metro Bank Monday Cup, where we want to get as many young people here as possible. Under 14s tickets are just £1.
Robinson in, driven hard back at Matt Parkinson, but he's nearly got out of the way of it.
It's an
And
assist.
it's 4 runs.
Now, should Matt Parkinson get those runs because it's hit him last?
Did it hit him? I thought he got out of the way of it.
It's almost grazed him.
So, from what I've seen, Matt Parkinson is notorious for getting hit at the non-striker's end. You know, back end of the game when the other batter's going for it, he finds himself in a situation where he might get hit more.
He's now asking Jack Leaning, shall I stand a bit wider for you? He's laughing away, both of them.
You get the impression he's the arm guard for when he bats or when he's at the non-striker end. Robinson in, shorter, that's been helped into the offside by Jack Leaning. He's going to come back for 2. It's going to be quick running, risky running.
Very risky running. It's not given
It's
the
not
run out
given.
shout.
Good running in the end. It went Jack Leaning's end, the in batter. Ollie Robinson took the bails, but the umpire said no.
Yeah, Leaning moves on to 49.
That would be a tough way to go, wouldn't it?
It would.
So he's 1 away from a half century. And Robinson is going to continue here. As he is. Robinson bar. And how many times he had a bruise from non-striker?
It was very entertaining.
But Robinson's going to be heading back to his mark here. If he gets one more team. He bowls the ball. Hit hard out to off. It will be the one. It looks through quite the end. That brings crucial for his team here.
Yeah, he raises to the pavilion. Come here, Jack Leaning.
And Robin back again. This one.
Low deck could also sound a little bit. It was a 4.
So there was a moment where Leaning's heart that's gone higher.
Colin Ackerman out there.
It wasn't in the end. I'm sure if Borthwick was out there,
Absolutely.
as he's done all day.
Like the catch we saw yesterday on Everton.
Bowls ramp, could you? Not in the end.
This is fun.
From the 2 ex-Northern players.
Yeah, it would have been enemies at one, but they are very Lancashire and Yorkshire past Leaning.
So last over, Kent down 224 for Readings on 55, 1 left. Yusuf is more likely to bowl this over.
We saw against Norfolk that Kent players do like to try and hit 6. Nearly did it. So we shall see what Matt Parkinson has got.
Can Matt Parkinson do this?
I will be doing my darts commentary if he does. Yusuf comes in for the back of the end to Matt Parkinson, who lofts it away. It's going to drop just short of the fielder. He gets a single, which puts Jack Leaning on strike. That's well played for Matt Parkinson. He's deliberately guided it down there, knowing that there's definitely a run there. Puts Leaning on strike. Kent.
Do you think
Well, he hit 30 on. He's out. Because they would want him back right then, as Yusuf comes in past the umpire. Shorter ball. Leaning swats it back towards him. Will it reach the rope? I think the fielder's going to get there.
He does the work.
He does the work too. So Leaning.
Yeah, it is 2 more.
That was a difficult one. So that was almost a wicket for Durham in the final over. But Jack Leaning wanted to 2 towards man towards Academy. What can he comes the eye? It's full, very full. Jack Leaning plays. Try and come back to Parkinson. Safe for them. Molly might have a different story.
But in the end,
Kept his helmet off. I think he's got some sweat going over his eyes. He's not there for one. Using 2 balls. It's going to drop safe just past 2 fielders. They'll get 2 for it. And with 1 ball to go, Kent are 2-3-7 for 8.
So you're right. Last ball of the game, or this innings I should say, is going to be faced by Jack Leaning, and he's got his team up to a defendable total.
Yeah, they're in a much better position than they were. I think they've done well to come back. Yusuf then, final ball of the innings. Jack Leaning, he's on 1 foot. It's hit into the hands of Borthwick, and for the first time today, Scott Borthwick has misfielded the final ball of the innings. It's gone into his hands that were sort of above his face, overarmed, and he's dropped it. But Kent then finish on 2-3-8 for 8. They'll be looking to defend that score. They'll be looking to defend 2-3-9 in about half an hour's time. My name's Liam. I'm here with Molly Davis. You're listening to the Kent Cricket live stream, proudly sponsored by Cluberly. We apologise for the video feed glitching slightly. We will give you full audio coverage, so please do listen in if you can't watch in, and we will give you Kent Spitfires innings with the ball in about half an hour time.
to the sponsor Cluberly. We are here at the county ground Beckenham for Durham's chase of 239. That will be getting away momentarily. I'm Nick. I'm joined with the man, the myth, the legend, Fred Atkins. Fred, are you well?
I'm living the dream, Nick. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good to hear. It looks like probably from
This is Steve Cohen after his game, but single performance. He's been out for so long with injury.
full, but just down the lead side, and that will be wided by the umpire, rightly so.
Yeah. Ollie Robinson taking the first strike and just letting that one drift down the leg side. Experienced player now, Robinson.
Am I right in thinking he doesn't normally open?
He has opened for Kent in the past. In fact, when he was at Kent, at one point he was doing all sorts. I mean, a bit like Harry Finch does now, actually. And he did open in the Red Bull side for a short spell.
Cohen comes in from the far side once again. Bowls, that's almost a Yorker length there. That's exactly what you want to see from a left arm seamer. A bit of in swing and nice and full, trying to get that ball to do as much work as it can.
Yeah, and Ollie Robinson there to dig that one out. He was temporarily wrong-footed by it. He jammed his bat down, and you could see that he was forced to dance a little out there. As we've said before, it's a ground that he'll know well. I remember seeing him play for Kent against Durham here a few years ago.
As the left armer starts his run up from the edge of the ring, bowls. It's that sort of top of the stump for length, but he's just struggling with his line a bit so far. That's his second wide in this over so far.
Yeah, second in 3 deliveries. There was half a stifled appeal from a couple of fielders. But I don't think.
I wonder if it was an appeal to try and distract the umpire from the old wide signal.
Yeah, it could well have been. Didn't have any conviction from any of the appealers.
And Mikey Cohen again from the city end. That's much better, and that's almost an opportunity there for the seamer. Ollie Robinson was a bit early on that one, surprisingly, and it just sort of chipped up just to the right of Mikey Cohen there. And it's never going to carry to the fielder at mid-on, but it's a promising start, I think, if you're the bowler.
Yeah, I think he'll be reasonably encouraged. It's a decent comeback after bowling a couple of wides there. I'm just trying to see who that is there. It's a fielder.
I think that's Freddie Klassen.
Yeah, could be.
Cohen is into bowl again. And there's that sort of down the leg side again. If I sort of 5 balls, can you?
Yes.
And bowl again. That was sort of length straighter and back by Robinson there.
Not the bat yet, purely extras. 3 for no wicket in this first over.
Yeah, and it's sort of a breath of fresh air for Kent fans. Left arm pace. Left alone by number 10 man over batting for Durham today. Yeah, that one just went whether it was on purpose or not, but again, it's promising signs. He's starting to find his areas now. I think if he got this over, I mean, preferably with 2 more dots, and I think he'll be. It won't be so bad. But a boundary now would really, really give Harry Finch some thinking, I think. And Mikey Cohen comes to bowl again. A bit wider that time, and Ollie Robinson has a slight flash at it, but miscues it straight to cover as Chris Benjamin does the cleaning up there.
It just shows you how different this 50 over format is from blast cricket. If this were a blast match, you'd already be feeling a bit tetchy. Tetchy's probably the wrong word. You haven't managed so far.
And to finish, or hopefully finishes over then, from the fast bowls one, and will roll 4. That's a lovely shot there.
Italy hit Robinson. So 200, which I think it's fair to say is a higher total than a lot of us expected it would be. Kent's innings look decidedly dicey. Techniques from Jack Lena has given him. And it'll be tickled down the leg side for, looks like probably 2 Durham are going to get here. So Emilio Gay gets off the mark with a couple. Ollie Robinson taking the strike in the first over. Applies to his mark. Which I should expect for a quicker bowler. Is almost halfway to the rope here at Beckenham. Comes in again, left arm over the wicket. That'll be driven by Gay, and that will probably before it's pierced the field. Jaden Denley's after it, but he's not going to get there, and that will be 4 runs to Leo Gay.
Yeah, and a little bit loose there from the Italian international, but as we've seen so far, if you can beat the infield, the ball is probably going to race across the outfield. And Denley did go to chase that one, but he was never going to get there, was he?
No, fairly hot pursuit from Denley, but he was always second favourite. Clarkson comes back in again, and that one is sort of swatted by. So there's a vacant gully area. So Gay will take a single. Ollie Robinson will be on strike. To Clarkson, there's one slip in. Finch is now adjusting his field. And there's an emergency services vehicle at the far end of the ground here, so I hope whoever's affected by that is okay. You can see the blue light in the background as Clarkson comes in again from the Beckenham end. Try and loosen that, chipped up in the air, and it's just eluded the fielder. So Robinson has got away with that. That was just out of reach of 2 fielders. It basically sort of chipped it almost onto the leg side, somewhere towards mid-off.
I reckon Chris Benjamin at mid-wicket thought he might have had a sniff there, but perfectly placed, if you will, right between the two.
You can say that. It was maybe about a foot over him, so you couldn't call it a chunk. Comes back in from the Beckenham end, and that one is steered straight to Chris Benjamin by Emilio Gay, and that is the end of the over. So at the end of the second over, Durham move to 15 for no wicket.
Yeah, and once again, as we've said so many times before, we do wholeheartedly apologise for all the problems we've had with the live stream today. Moving to Beckenham's caused a few technical problems. Obviously the video keeps cutting out and the audio is a bit laggy as well, so we do apologise, and we're always working hard to rectify it. And I believe we might be nearly there now, but we appreciate all your patience, and thank you for putting up with the laggy stream. And it will be Mikey Cohen to continue. And he starts his run up from the city end and bowls to Ollie Robinson. That's punched off the back foot through the gap between cover and point, and that's also going to race to the rope. That's another lovely shot from Ollie Robinson there. Yeah, he's we had two that he sort of popped up a little bit, but otherwise he's made his runs look easy.
Yeah, I think he's obviously very familiar with the wicket and the conditions here, and that was an elegant 4, just sort of pushed nicely through cover, point rather.
And Cohen comes in again and bowls a bit shorter that time and more in at the body, and that's a dot ball there. Fred Klassen cleaning up at mid-wicket.
Yeah, score 19 for no wicket. And it's not the hugest of totals for Kent to defend. Well, obviously want to make early inroads, and they'll need to keep taking wickets at regular interval, because that, of course, was the problem. Arundel, they took wickets, but a couple of stands, including that last wicket stand, really took the game away from them.
And Cohen bowls again. Almost blocked by Robertson, but Denley does enough to divert the ball to Joey Everson at cover, and they get it in without any further damage.
Yeah, I think Robinson was tempted when he saw that Denley had slightly misfielded that. It was one of those really awkward bounces that sort of, it's right on the body, difficult to judge, and it kind of reared up on him, but luckily there was a bit of backing up going on, and there's no run.
As the left armour starts his run up again. And a short ball this time, but it was also thrown down the leg side by the looks of things, and I'm not surprised that one was given as a wide.
Yeah, I wonder if it was given. It's not been signalled as a free hit, For a second I thought it might be slightly high as well, but it's just going to be a wide. So Cohen has been a bit wayward so far here at Beckenham. He's bowled 3 wides in the first inning, first over. Bowled another one there.
He's into bowl again. That's top of the stumps. Hits Ollie Robinson on the thigh pad. A much needed dot ball, I think, for Mikey Cohen, even if it's just a confidence thing.
Yeah, I mean, I said he's been wayward, and it's true. It's harsh. It's just how one-day cricket is. You know, you cannot stray anywhere down the leg side because you will get signalled for a wide. So, Championship cricket, obviously, it wouldn't have been signalled, but it's just these very, very fine margins in the List A format.
And Cohen to finish the over. It's chipped up and through the gap between cover and mid-off. Another boundary for Ollie Robinson. But you just think that was again another potential opportunity if the field was 2 yards to the left, I think.
Yeah, there's a common expression which I won't repeat here. Yeah, 2 fielders. And it's to Ollie Robinson.
And then he has a double going to be an opportunity with weaker arm, had to twist his body, but another single for Durham there.
So they move on to 25 and no hit to 4 overs, or 3 overs. So Durham will be start made. Modelling Liverpool here. Durham. I call Durham put in the capital with a team down class and above the bend. Near a fielder. So that looks like it's the boundary rope, and it does go over the boundary rope. So 4 runs there for Emilio Gay. The local, you say, there is a fair low risk, I'd say.
Yeah, it seemed quite nice off the bat actually, but it went half a chance, but it did just trickle over the rope.
Here comes Clarkson again. Beckenham end, left arm over, and that one is cut by Emilio Gay for 4 runs through point.
Yeah, one extreme to another there from Fred Class, and that one was a little bit too short. The ball before that got hit high over the covers was a little bit too full. It was almost in the slot, I think. So he's just got to work on finding his length here.
Yeah, it's not been an ideal start from a Kent point of view. Clarkson comes in again from the Beckenham end to bowl to Emilio Gay, and Gay will this time go to the leg side, and that will be another 4 for Emilio Gay. And so this has been a suboptimal start to Fred Clarkson's second over here. 3 successive boundaries from Emilio Gay. Talented player that he recruited from Northants at the start of this season. He's been in the England Lions setup. He's obviously well regarded by the selectors. And Clarkson comes in again from the Beckenham end. Gay will have a swish at this one, and this one is wide. He sort of, I was going to say it looked like a decent comeback from Clarkson. We're just not quite in line with the wicket here at Beckenham, and it must have drifted just a little bit too far. This time down the offside, and Gay wafted that one. It's been given as a wide, so it's not the finest over of Fred Clarkson's Kent career so far here. And there's just a bit of an adjustment to the field. It looks like Harry Finch has decided to take out the slip. Clarkson comes in from the Beckenham end, and that one will go to decent bit of captaincy. That's gone exactly to Jack Leaning, where Harry Finch moved him.
Yeah, and I actually think that might be Ollie Robinson on strike. Matt Parkinson is obstructing our view here from where we're sat, but I think number 24 is stood at the non-strikers end.
I think they've taken a single, haven't they, from
they sneak a single in there at some stage.
Yeah, so you're right, it is Ollie Robinson to face Clarkson. And Ollie Robinson, has he chopped on there?
That's very unfortunate, that is.
It's out, so it's a wicket for Kent. Fred Clarkson strikes. It's not been the greatest start to the over, but it's been a very good comeback from Fred Clarkson. Ollie Robinson has chopped on there, and Kent have seen 38 for no wicket here.
And we've lost the score, so we hope to get that fixed momentarily, but